all too good. He was a little boy who was misled by another little boy, and this is what he said. Here in OG, we gonna make some cash, robbing old folks and making a dash.
I did the job, and
Money came with ease. The boy just couldn't stop it like he had a disease. He robbed another, and a sister, and a brother.
What's up, everybody?
Hey!
Welcome to Lights, Camera,
Cocktails!
Cocktails. We are a podcast that pairs amazing cocktails with amazing movies. I'm just making sure that this thing is working.
One, you didn't tell we were going. Do you see there's something missing on this table right now?
What's missing?
Our drinks.
We can get them. My bad.
I'm gonna get them. Go ahead. I'm Zenobia, the bartender.
Zenobia is peeking on the microphones, and she's mad because I snuck up on her. But what's happening, everybody? Public service announcement. We live in Los Angeles, and apparently people did not run out of fireworks yet.
Nope.
So there may be some bangs in the background. We apologize in advance, especially if Robin comes and jumps up on our laps and scratches the microphones. But how y'all doing?
Hey.
You ready? You're so mad.
I was like, yeah. And then I looked around. I was like, I'm missing something.
Okay, this is my first look at the drink, and this looks pretty awesome.
I'm not even done with it yet.
What? There's more?
This, my friends, is called the Shark Bite.
Yes.
And so here's what's in the Shark Bite. We have 3/4 ounce spiced rum.
Spiced rum.
Three-
Got that Captain. You got that handle.
I got a
Captain.
handle. I feel like this summer is a summer we're going to need a handle of Captain Morgan spiced rum. So 3/4 ounce of light rum, which we had last week.
That was good.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, can I just say, last week's drink was fucking good.
It was so good.
Oh my God, it was so good.
I can't wait.
That's all I'm
I
going
wanna
to
make
say
it
about it.
again.
It was really good.
Please, you guys,
Top 3 for sure.
Go out there, hot day, make this, and you and your friends sit down, and you guys will never get back
Everybody,
up.
every 4th of July, the red, white, and booze
And
slushy.
booze. Yes.
So damn good.
I think the Shark Bite's going to be good. It sounds good.
All right.
So we have 1 ounce, a half an ounce of blue curacao.
Blue
Gives it
curacao.
that blue ocean look.
Yeah.
And you're going to do half an ounce of sweet and sour mix.
I can't reach it.
It's okay. That's this.
I'll just be Vanna.
And then you're going to shake all of that into a shaker, put in a rocks glass with some ice, and then you're going to drop 3 drops of grenadine through to make the blood.
I see what you did there. Oh, da-dum,
Ba-dum,
da-dum, da-dum.
ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-
Oh my God.
And that, my friends, is the Shark Bite.
That's awesome.
Also, you guys, motherfucking Smashy's in the motherfucking
Smashy
building.
is in the building.
Brr, brr, brr. So come get your drink, girl.
Baby, we're trying to get...
I'm sitting in front of the AC.
Yeah, we turned on the AC, but hopefully it does not disrupt.
Ew.
I'm going to do some audio technician shit and clean up this sound.
This is how blue the ocean is in the Caribbean.
In the Caribbean, yes. So here we go. Cheers.
Cheers, you guys.
Shark
Happy
Bite.
Fourth.
Happy Fourth.
Yeah. Mm,
Oh my God, that's really good.
that's good.
That's really good.
I like it.
Ooh,
That's real good.
Good job.
Can we tell the people what movie we're doing yet? I think they kind of guessed.
Go ahead, tell 'em.
It's your movie.
It's your favorite director.
It is my favorite one of my favorite directors.
I did last week. Go
And I
ahead.
styled my hair just for the occasion. Y'all like it?
I'm set for beach weather today in my
hot
swimsuit.
as hell outside. We're doing Jaws, people.
Yep.
Obviously,
Dun-dun,
we got a shark bite. This is awesome.
dun-dun,
I'm very
dun-dun,
excited.
dun-dun, dun-dun. This is good.
Happy summertime.
Summertime. Okay, so that is the Shark Bite. You liked it?
I like it. It's
It
good.
has that blue curacao, orange citrus paste with this sweet and sour mix. The rum always makes it taste good, and that grenadine gets a little more sugar. I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's tasty.
And it looks really pretty.
It does. I wonder. I'm almost curious how this might, if it would be good blended, and then drop in the blood. Possibly.
Maybe next year when
Maybe
we
next
do
year.
Jaws
Jaws
2. When we do Jaws 2.
We're gonna.
We haven't done a sequel before.
That's true. We got one coming up in October.
Can I tell you? Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a fun fact though?
Mm,
Before we get into this drink,
sure.
Jaws 2 was the highest grossing sequel to a movie until Godfather 2.
Nice.
It's a little fun fact for you. Fun fact. So, are you ready for a little bit of health story?
Yeah.
We getting
I
some.
love your health stories.
We're getting some health stories here. So everybody,
I like being healthy.
grab your rum and let's get ready. So the health story of rum is that if you take like 1.5 ounces, it's like an ounce and a half of rum, it can reduce anxiety and help you have a solid night's sleep.
Sedative.
So rum also helps prevent the common cold. I'm a rum person, so this is.
I like rum. I would say I'm a rum person.
If anyone was like, "What's your favorite spirit?" It's rum. I know Smashies is whiskey. What's yours? Is your whiskey too?
Not necessarily. It could be rum. I like whiskey. I like rum. I like tequila.
That's in your bones.
Yeah. I like that yak.
This show has opened my eyes up to different spirits because I
Yeah.
used to just be like, I don't care.
I
as
like
long as it
gin.
tastes good.
Gin's pretty good.
Gin-
Vodka does not agree with any of us.
Vodka does not. Vodka is whatever. Gin doesn't agree
However,
with me.
Grey Goose, if y'all want to give us a call,
Get your girl loose.
we will answer.
Gotta get your girl loose. All right, so
Yeah, rum might be my first choice.
rum is my first choice, and I also like it because it's sweet and you can mix it with any fruit.
I was gonna say
I love fruit.
that's the part that I like about it.
Yeah.
It's a mixed drink liquor.
It is, and you can take a shot of rum. I mean, we
Yeah.
could take a shot of rum.
My favorite drinks are the ones with umbrellas. You know.
and
me.
I haven't even put
You
an
haven't
umbrella
tossed an
in not
umbrella in
one
so long.
drink. All right, next week's probably gonna be tropical. I don't know. Maybe. No, I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
gonna find
know.
one this month.
I mean, we just decided what we're doing next week, so
Literally like 10 minutes ago. You get that.
I wouldn't call it a tropical drink, but I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm gonna find something good for us. So, rum.
Talk to me.
Sorry, I got too much ice in my mouth. Okay, so rum can help prevent osteoporosis.
Really?
Yes.
Lubricates your joints?
And it can help with arthritis. I also heard it's good for your bones as well.
All right. That's good. So I'm going to get some rum for my mom,
Yeah.
apparently.
I got something for you when you become a big ninja star and you're all jumping off of buildings and doing your own stunts like Tom Cruise.
That was one project.
And you know a lot of your projects are going to be like, that's just you.
I
In
know.
his own life, he just does athletic shit all the time. But the next time you're sore,
But I want to like play like a baseball player or something
you can.
like that. That'd
And
be-
your muscles might get sore on that. You never know.
Dude,
So,
Charlie Sheen's did when he was a pitcher for
see?
Major League.
see?
Fun fact on a movie we're not doing today.
Fun fact. So when you have muscle pains, take a shot of rum. It's going to help release the tension and the toxins in your muscles.
Like soreness?
Yes.
No
muscle pain.
shit.
Yeah, I saw that one and I wrote it down just for you. So,
Good to know.
rum acts as a blood thinner and it can reduce heart attacks.
Okay.
So also, if it being a blood thinner, it probably helps you with menstrual cramps. Ladies, I'm talking to you out there.
Shot of rum.
Shot
when
of
you're
rum.
On that time.
When it's that time, might help you with your cramps. I'm going to try it and I'll report back next rum drink.
Babe.
So, yeah, next time you're having a really bad one, take a shot of rum. See what
Shot
happens.
of rum and a mix CD.
It's a blood thinner, so that sounds like it'd be perfect right up that alley.
Dude, we were watching that Ashton Kutcher and Natalie Portman movie, and now she's like, "You gonna make me a mix CD?"
I keep bleeding. I keep bleeding. We have to do that one now since we did the other one.
I know, right?
Okay, so it is said, now don't quote me on this, but I saw it on 2 different websites, so who knows,
Okay.
that it can help prevent cancer. I don't know. I like rum, so
Alcohol kills germs
Yeah.
and a number of things. Yeah, I can see that. Mm-hmm. Which I don't know if I agree with because it's got a lot of sugar in it.
It is made from the sugar cane. We talked about this,
Yeah.
you guys.
But maybe it's more natural.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's why I said I heard. I'm not going to throw that one out as facts.
Yeah.
But it can also reduce your risk of gallstones. So if you're out there, you got some gallstones, take some rum, I guess.
All right.
And drink water.
Drink. Just drink water, people.
Just drink water.
You see, I always have my glass of water with our alcohol.
Literally, I can't, like, get in my car and drive off if there's not water in my car.
Yeah.
Because I'm constantly just like, if I'm in my car, I'm drinking something. Mm-hmm. And it's usually water. So, this is another one that I heard. I hope it's true because I drink rum.
Okay.
So it can help calm sort of some mental conditions out there. I don't know what kind. It just said some. So it must have something to do with your
Inflammation up here.
in the chemical
sort of thing.
imbalance and stuff.
So that would be like cases of like autism and like.
I think that it
things
may
like that.
be with something close to depression because
Depression.
I did also read that rum is really good social drink that makes you more lively and happy.
Okay.
So maybe that's what it is.
Antidepressant. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I
So
love rum.
a lot of alcohols are depressants.
Yes.
And
True.
Maybe the captain is onto something.
Captain Morgan.
Remember those stupid ass commercials? Everybody's practicing the captain pose.
Dude, I have pictures of me doing that next to Captain Jack Sparrow in fucking Disneyland.
Nice.
I'm like, let's Captain Morgan this shit, bitch.
I can't
he
wait
totally
till we
did
do
it.
that movie. Yes. We got to go to Lost Spirits. We got to get them on the podcast.
Get some real rum. Okay. Not that you're not real, Captain Morgan.
No, we have that one up there. They
But that special
legit tried
ass
to
rum.
make the same rum as the Caribbean.
Yes. And lastly, this is not a health story, but a delicious story. It is great for cakes, ice cream, and baked goods, you guys.
Fuck yeah.
So next time you get your kids together and you're talking about making some ice cream out of the ice cream machine. I don't know. I used to do that as a kid. No, you never had an ice cream maker?
Hell no.
You put like the salt rocks in it and it gets really cold.
Really?
You pour like the milk and the cream or whatever in there. And then it like gets it really cold and makes ice cream.
Nice.
Next time you do that, make some with your kids, and as soon as they get their scoop, you throw some rum in there and roll that shit around.
Yeah.
And that is my health story on rum.
I like it.
And there was a lot more, so there might be another history on this one.
You started with gin, and I was like, oh, damn, I got to drink gin more. But then you did the tequila one. I was like, oh, shit, I got to drink tequila more.
It depends on what's wrong with you.
I got to keep drinking.
Yeah,
If I want to stay healthy.
It depends on what's wrong with you. I mean,
So you're talking about muscle pains and joints, so, I mean, shit.
this one might be the one for you. Mm-hmm. And it helps
The
you.
body knows what it wants.
Yeah. Tequila when you want to go to sleep. Like, I know this one said that it helps, but I think tequila will probably help even more because it opens up your like blood vessels.
Put you out.
And it'll put you out on your ass. So
You want to live forever, drink gin. Okay.
I don't know. I also heard like one of the oldest men in Mexico drank tequila every day for like 80 years, and he lived to be like 100 or something. So
Fuck.
there's that. I don't
Okay.
know. I want to be those person who's like drink champagne every day and you'll live to be 1,000.
I don't know
That's
about
me.
champagne.
I don't know. But next time we do it, I'm gonna find some hellstory on that shit for you.
Champagne, okay. Mm-hmm. What would we do? Maybe First Wives Club. Because don't they
'Cause
pop a bottle?
They do, and they put the rings in it.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
So-
Any excuse to talk about my girl. Diane
Yes.
Keaton.
And my girl Goldie Hawn,
And my mom's girl, Bette Midler.
Bette Midler. That my mom loves her too.
Okay.
So we doing Jaws, y'all.
We're doing Jaws.
You want me to hit you with the stats?
Yes. Can I just say, this movie was made in 1975, damn near 50 years ago. Watched it a number of times this week. Still a great fucking movie.
It holds up. It really does.
So
It
good.
really does hold up.
To you filmmakers out there, it's not about your equipment. It's not about your budget. It's about your story. Make a good fucking story and it'll last forever.
Yes.
Jeez. Sorry.
Okay.
I've seen so many bad movies recently and getting jaded.
Don't.
I know. I got to stop watching certain movies.
Just watch what we tell you guys to watch.
Recommend.
We're telling you they're already good. Okay, so here's the stats.
Okay.
So June 20th, 1975, like you said, this movie dropped. Budget, $7 million.
$7 million? That's it?
Today's money, $33 million.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
It made money and it made sense.
Oh
Okay?
yeah. Oh fuck yeah!
So-
it made money.
In 1975, it made $470 million. And in today's money, that's over $2 billion. $2
Damn.
billion. Over that. It was a long ass number.
I know. I mean, think of it. I mean, $7 million nowadays is nothing as far as making movies is concerned.
That's
Imagine
like, oh, that's a cheap movie.
how much did Get Out make? That's the
I
equivalent.
think it was like 7, wasn't it? Like 5 or 7?
Oh no! It cost 4.
Oh, it only cost 4.
It cost
okay.
4 to make, but how much did it gross? I can't remember.
Tons. We have to do that movie.
That's the equivalent. So this movie made that much money
Yeah.
way back then.
Yep. So, you ready for the Rotten Tomatoes?
Maybe.
Critics, 97%.
Holy shit.
Audience, 90%.
Okay. As usual, I'm more with the audience.
Zenobia,
Huh.
95%.
Yeah? You
It's
like
good.
it that much?
I do.
All right.
Because
Solid A.
it scared me as a child.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we went on a cruise when I was in the 2nd grade. And we went to the Bahamas for a week on a cruise. And it was my first time like out at sea. And I guess it was before me knowing about Titanic, because that probably would be what I would be panicking about.
Mm-hmm.
But literally, I thought that there was going to be a shark that was going to ram our ship and sink us down.
I still don't go in the water.
I'm not scared anymore. But
I get about knee high. That's it.
dang, really?
Yeah.
Dang.
For the most part.
'Cause of this movie?
Ashley, to a degree, yeah.
To a degree, this movie
I don't
did scare
go
me.
in because I know that there's things I can't see in that water.
I feel like Shark Week has made me more scared and less scared at the same time. I don't know how that is. I feel educated and I know my risks. Like
Okay.
that's how I feel. Like if you get bitten by a shark, you're most likely not going to get completely eaten.
Uh-huh.
You're going to get bitten. It's going to realize that you're human and it's not going to want you and it's going to go away. And if you die, you're going to die from blood loss because we couldn't get you to the hospital in time.
I still don't see the.
No, I'm just saying, like, in this movie, it's like, the shark eats a whole body
Sure.
and, like,
I mean-
goes off.
They say it's a 25-foot shark.
Yeah.
You know, the bite radius is like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
so those sharks you don't see in the ocean ever. I don't know. I'm not a oceanographer or whatever it is.
That's what I'm telling you to watch Shark Week, bitch.
I ain't got time for that. I got an episode of the podcast we got to do next week. And Stranger Things drops.
Stranger Things dropped today.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
so
gonna have
happy.
to binge that shit.
All right, let's hurry up so we can go watch Stranger Things. So, are you ready
Yes.
for the completely made up drinking game? You ready?
You're editing this one, so you gotta figure out how to
Figure
put
out
the
some
jingle in there.
Some cool jingle. If you guys noticed, Jason surprised me with a cool jingle last week for my drinking game.
I did that Michael Jackson dubbing. I put her voice like 3 or 4 times and then changed it, made her sound like a chipmunk.
I'm gonna find some cool way to do it. I'm gonna do it. I
Okay.
have tomorrow off, so that's like my whole idea is just to figure out that. All right, so you take 1 simp when the shark kills someone. It doesn't do it too often,
Not too often.
but
There's other simps in this movie though, so
Yes.
that's good that you're taking a simp with that one.
so you take a simp when Quince says some crazy fisherman shit,
Nice.
like never trust a bow-legged woman or something like that. What's he say?
Here's to swimming with
Bow-legged
bow-legged
women. That's what it. Here's to swimming with bow-legged
You
women.
know he's being a pervert right there, right?
I don't know. He's just a gross fisherman. I just think
He's
everything
talking
is-
about women whose legs spread open a little bit wider so that he can swim in between.
Ew. Quince, you old ass
He's
motherfucker.
an old pervert. That's all it
Ugh.
is. He's being a pervert.
I don't like that. That's why I put it on there. I was like, this fool, he says a lot of shit.
He's swimming with bow-legged
Women, fucking douche. Okay, so you take one simp when the orca is seen on the side of the ship.
Okay,
The
I was
name
like,
orca
okay.
is seen on the, because that's the name of his ship.
Yes.
You take one simp when somebody is smoking,
Nice.
which happens a lot.
Do not smoke in here. Richard.
You take a simp every time the shark gets shot and the yellow barrels get stuck to him.
Ah, so every time it's harpooned with the barrel?
Harpoon with the barrel.
Gotcha.
Which is scary when you see it come up out of the water. You're like, oh shit.
Seriously.
We're going to
I
need a
love
bigger
when they
boat.
surprise Robert Shaw, Quince, the
Yes.
captain. Is like, you can't stay down there with 3. Oh, fuck if he can't.
You take one simp when the mayor makes a wrong decision, like closing the beach.
Doesn't.
Where he
Motherfucker.
doesn't want to close the beach.
Worried about your money. Get the hell out of here.
I totally understand it. Being a seasonal city that only gets people 3-4 months out of the year, I get that that's your money. But your people's lives are at risk, and y'all can just go poor for 1 year,
Yeah.
and people will be back next year.
Exactly.
You know?
You think they're going to come back after... Think about that shit, man. How many people? Like 4 or 5 people got eaten?
I mean, a baby got killed, and they could have stopped that one by closing the beach. The little boy.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like a infant.
Dude, anyone who's like under 18 is a fucking baby, and you know it. So, yeah, we let a poor
I mean, it all
child.
depends on whose book you're reading.
That's true.
But, okay, I got you. It's just like, you don't want to think about something like that and then be like, oh, that seems like a nice place to go next summer.
Yeah.
You know, close the beach and save the rest of your summers.
Yeah. Because, yeah, exactly. So, you take one simp when you hear the Jaws song. Dun-dum, 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 dun-dum. Famous,
Very,
iconic
very
song.
famous. 2 beats, you got a villain.
Yes. You take one simp when they share their scars. For every scar that they share, we're gonna
like
drink.
that.
I'm gonna drink to your leg.
The creme
and
de la creme.
you drink to. We're gonna drink to our
Right
legs.
here. I can't see it. You're wearing a sweater. She
Broke my heart. That's so funny. You take a simp when Hopper takes a drink. When he takes
Hooper?
a drink. Hooper.
Yeah,
When he takes a drink,
I like that.
and then you take a fucking drink.
Every time he takes a drink.
You take a drink when Brody is in his cop uniform. Don't
Okay.
happen too often.
I was gonna say, yeah. Sometimes he's at home. Sometimes he's in those navy sweaters
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
I also really like this next one. You take one simp when Brody is with his kids.
Oh,
Like that awesome scene where the kid's mimicking him and the mom's watching.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I love Steven Spielberg. He does something with children in his films that I feel like nobody can do.
He is known as the child whisperer.
He be whispering to these children. I hope he's
I mean,
not
we
the
talked
child
about some
diddler.
secrets
That's the
about.
only thing I
no,
don't
no,
want.
it's not that kind. No, but he has a gift for working with children,
Mm-hmm.
and first of all, casting the right children. But we'll get into that
Yes.
to a degree.
You finish your drink when there's a shooting star
Yeah.
in the sky. You got a fun fact on that?
Oh, I do.
Go ahead.
That is a real fun fact, people. That is an actual motorcycle riding across the street because motherfuckers don't know how to act.
It's daytime. We usually
It's
do this
daytime.
at night,
Yeah,
y'all.
we did this during the day because tonight it's gonna get just much, much worse.
Yeah.
The fireworks are just gonna be going off. But yes, so in the scene right before Jaws starts ramming the boat again, when they're in like the morning sunrise,
Yeah.
that is a legitimate shooting star flying across the screen. The first time, they just happened to capture it. The second one was digitally added in, so you notice that you see it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. The second one was added in, but because of such, it has become Steven Spielberg's almost trademark where he puts shooting stars in most of his films.
Really?
Yeah, it's in other movies. I heard it's in Hook,
It is.
but it's hard to find.
No, it's at the end.
Is it?
Because they show the stars and there's like a shooting star.
There you go.
You're
Okay.
right. You're
Yeah.
totally right.
Yeah, he puts shooting stars in his movies. I think it's also in what's it called? Extraterrestrials of the Third Kind or Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I had to watch that in film history.
Nice.
It was one
a
of
good
my
ass movie.
It was. So you finish your drink when they blow that motherfucking shark up. Boom! Fuck that shark.
Fuck that shark.
I mean, because he's not a real shark. If he was a real shark, I'd be like, fuck you, humans.
I
Leave
mean,
that shark alone.
some of the footage in there is of real sharks.
Oh, I have a fun fact on that, yes.
All right. Got you.
There is footage of real sharks swimming
Mm-hmm.
in this that aren't Bruce the shark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruce.
Oh, do you want that fun fact now?
Not yet. Let's finish the drinking game first.
That's it.
That's it?
You got anything?
I do. Yes. I don't know what, but I do. Let's
here.
see. I think that you should take a drink when Hooper finds a shark tooth.
That's scary as fuck.
That's scary as fuck. It's like, damn. And we finished our drink twice already, right?
You can add one more.
We can add one more.
Mm-hmm.
I would say take a drink anytime. What is his name? Robert Shaw, the captain? Quince.
Quince.
Take a drink anytime Quince is singing some weird ass pirate song.
He is such a
He's losing his
pirate.
mind.
He's such a pirate.
I mean, he says it. He's like, you're certifiable or some shit like that.
Okay, so I kind of fucked up, you guys. This week was not my best week on researching, and I apologize. Jaws was based on a book. I don't have any fun facts about the book because I didn't get to that. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But,
We're for sure going to do Jaws 2, in which case we will be more prepared for that.
yeah,
The
it's
search
a
for
holiday,
more money.
you guys, so
Yeah.
it's hard.
I should have just said it. We're doing this episode on July 4th. Happy 4th of July,
Happy
people.
4th, you guys.
We're suffering for you. We're
That's
not
how
out.
you- I'm
we
not
could
at
be
a
eating
barbecue.
hot dogs and...
I could have been at a
Li-
barbecue.
I could have been at a barbecue.
But nah, I'm here with you guys.
But we do this for y'all.
For you. And this shark bite drink I'm about to make. You want another
It's
one?
delicious. I'm only...
I'm just going to give you a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I'm
All
not
right.
listening to you. Go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. So, is that the...
Completely made up drinking game. Yes, queen. That's it.
Nice. Okay, I guess I'll jump into this then. So, this movie was directed by the great Steven Spielberg.
Stefan Sondheim?
No, not Stefan. Stefan was 2 or 3 episodes ago.
Oh, that just gives me every time.
But you start with me. We're doing somebody next week who you can't pronounce.
Oh, fuck. You're right.
What's his name? What's his name?
I'm
What's
not
his
going to
name?
say it until next week. You listen in next week, and I might say it. We'll see. Damn, you're right. You got me.
His name's Wiley.
Okay.
Okay.
And I've been trying not to pick his fucking movies, too.
Have you really?
Not really. I do love him.
He's so good.
I'm joking. I would. Go ahead.
Okay, well, the great Steven Spielberg. This was his very first movie. His first full-length movie. You know, we talked about this before. He had a goal of being the youngest director ever to make his first movie. He didn't quite get there. He lost to what's his name? I forgot his name again. Orson Welles.
Oh, yeah.
Orson Welles is the youngest to date, I think, still.
Even over John Singleton? How old was Orson Welles?
I know, maybe John Singleton is the
Yeah, he was like
John
23.
Singleton is definitely the youngest to be nominated for
Yeah, we
Best
talked about
Director.
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I think Orson Welles was the youngest to make his first movie, or maybe he broke the record. I don't know. We'll have to look at that. We'll do more John Singleton movies.
Can I give you some cool Steven Spielberg facts?
That was so sweet.
I feel like I'm telling you something that you might already know, but I'm just gonna say it anyway.
Tell me.
So this week I binge listened to this podcast called Inside Jaws, which
Ooh,
you
okay.
definitely need to listen to.
All right.
And it starts back when Steven was like literally a child. He had a mom who was like the sexy hot mom who wore like short skirts, and he'd be like, "Mom, can you just like dress like a mom, please?" God,
Nice.
he was one of those kind of like kids. And she said,
Grew up in Arizona, no?
yes, Phoenix. And his mom would always say, I can dress however I want because I want to live in the moment.
Nice.
And that's something that kind of stuck with him. And when he came out here to go to school in Long Beach, he went to Universal Studios and he did the tram tour. And he was like, I got to figure out how the fuck I can get into the studio.
Mm-hmm.
So he jumped off of the tram when they were on like a little bathroom break. He hid in the bathroom
He hid in
stall.
the bathroom.
And then he just started walking around the set. So you know all this, yeah?
I know all this, yes.
He-
Correct. Was it Universal? I thought it was Warner's.
I'm pretty sure it's Universal.
Okay.
And he walks around there. Wait. What was...
What?
Oh, God.
He did this a lot.
Yeah,
This,
he would-
this wasn't when he was going to school in Long Beach, though. This was when he was already going to school at USC.
Okay. Whenever this was,
Yeah.
he had moved here.
He dropped out.
He dropped out of school, but this was after he did all this shit.
Yeah.
So he would get on the tram, he'd get off, he'd wander around the fucking sets,
Mm-hmm.
and people would just kind of pretend like just thought he was an extra.
He
They
would
didn't
dress.
know. He would dress to impress.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up going on to
He got his own office.
what is it? What is it?
He acquired an office
What is-
while he was there.
Yes.
And he started just working.
And he eventually, like, okay, before that, he had somebody say, like, all right, here's a pass. Come back tomorrow. We can use you to do whatever, whatever. And he comes back, and then the next day, he doesn't have a pass. So he'd be like, oh, my dad works here, and I left my pass in his office. And they let him in. And he'd be like, hey, I have a delivery for so-and-so. And they let
Nice.
him in. And then he'd be like, hey, whatever. And after a while, the fucking dude at the gate
Just
didn't even
knew
say
him.
shit and would wave his ass through into the studio. And eventually, he acquired a.
He acquired.
Do you know how he did that?
I don't remember. Didn't he like requisition or some shit like that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll
I'll have
ask
to
you.
do research on that.
So he did all that.
Save that for the next
Wonderful
Spielberg
shit.
movie.
I also heard that there was a point where when he did one of his first movies, I can't. Maybe you know what it is. It's about
Rambling.
he said the one about the truck. He did this movie,
45-minute short film.
which was really
The
cool.
villain is a truck.
Which reminds me of a Twilight Zone episode, which I think is kind of cool.
So they wanted him to cut that thing down because they didn't want to. I think they thought it was too long or something like that.
45
and-
minutes?
Yeah. I mean, it was technically supposed to be a short film, but they wanted to cut the part where the truck dies or something like that. It's like he was not having it at all.
I also heard that one day he was watching The Incredible Hulk and he saw his own footage from that movie used as like stock footage.
Nice.
In,
However,
in Nurk, in The Incredible Hulk, the TV show.
Uh-huh.
So he calls up like the director or
that
producer or whatever.
sounds like you guys owe me money.
He was like, what the fuck? That's my footage of my truck chasing down some people. And you got him chasing down the motherfucking Hulk? Like, what is this shit? And he was like, dude, I got this at Universal's fucking stock place. Like, I just picked it up out of there. And I was like, I'm sure that you look, it's in other shit too. And so because of that, Steven Spielberg put in his contract that you could never use his shit for anything else. You can't use clips of his stuff. Of
course not.
In your movie. I did that, not you. And
Yeah.
I'm not even getting credit for it.
Exactly. There's a lot of work that goes into every single shot that people don't understand.
Yeah.
You work hard. You earn. You know what it's like? It's like football. You earn every single inch.
Yeah.
Every single inch of a movie. Yeah. I 100% agree with him. Fuck that. You want my footage? Come at me. Call me. Ask me for permission. Then I will look at your project with a fine-tooth comb, and then I will say no.
Yes.
It's not meant for that. Different story. Fuck you.
Oh, wait. I do have a really fun story about him in this movie.
With this movie? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, let's jump into Steven Spielberg in Jaws.
So, Steven Spielberg is really good friends with no other than George Lucas.
George Lucas, yeah.
And one day, Steven took George into their, like, effects studio to show him Bruce, the shark.
Nice.
It's named Bruce because he's named after Spielberg's lawyer.
What?
Yes.
That's funny.
I do remember his name being Bruce, but I don't remember that's why he was named that, because they do say it on the tram when you go to Universal Studio. Like, there's
Yes.
Bruce, you know,
so
the
those of you who are unaware, Bruce is still around.
He
Bruce
is.
is animatronic.
scaring people till this day.
They don't do what they used to. So they
You're
used
sure?
to
I haven't been
actually,
on the tram in the middle.
I've been on it not recently, but in the last year or two.
Mm-hmm.
They used to have Bruce up and working, and he would jump out of the water and like get close to the tram and
do
stuff.
that no
They don't do
more.
that no more.
He old. I get it.
Yeah, he's old.
I get it.
His
But I'm
fins
glad that
his fins are rusting.
I'm just glad that I got to see him in action. Then,
Yeah.
like, that makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah, when I was a
Aw.
kid, they used to do that stuff.
Yeah,
but
when I was
now
a kid.
Bruce is beached.
Along with the orcas,
say the least.
also, there was two of them.
Mm-hmm.
One sank, and one of them was taken by someone who worked on the film, and he beached it up near his house. And
Nice.
people realized what the ship was, and would run up and take pictures on it, and
course.
would literally tear shit off of this
Fucking assholes.
off of this boat to the point where he was like, "I'm just chopping this shit up."
Motherfuckers.
Yeah. So y'all fucked up
Unbelievable.
shit, people.
I hate people.
Just
like
take a
that.
picture on it and respect it. You don't have to take pieces of it home. That's weird.
I hate people like that.
Well, what he ended up doing is he chopped it up, and there was a special edition DVD collection that you could get.
Okay.
And when you paid the money for that, you would get a piece of the orca boat. So that was kind of cool, I guess.
I guess that's all right.
But that bitch wanted to have it on his boat, on his beach. I was like,
Yeah, they couldn't just leave well enough alone.
No. Okay, so back to
Fantastic.
Steven and George. So he took him to his specialty shop to show him Bruce. He's like, "Look at my shark, yo. Is this dope? I'm about to make this fucking movie about a shark killing people."
Nice.
And George Lucas is like, "Oh my God, dude, let me get a picture of my head in his mouth." He's like, "Okay, yeah, cool." And so he sticks his head in the mouth, and Steven Spielberg goes over and he pushes like a button,
Oh,
and the mouth
shit.
closes on George Lucas's head. And there he's like laughing and shit. But then when he goes to try to open the mouth again, he couldn't open the mouth again. And George Lucas was stuck inside Bruce's mouth.
Nice.
So he had to go and like pry this fucking shark's mouth open so that he could get George Lucas's head out. And so he gets his head out,
Uh-huh.
and they kind of did some damage to the shark to get his head out.
Oh,
that they just
no.
like ran out of there like little kids who had broken something. Like they were just like, "Oh no, we gotta go before we get in trouble."
They were in their 20s, dude. They were kids. They were kids making $7 million movies.
Yeah, and I just think that is just
Yeah.
so funny to think of like a young George Lucas.
I think we mentioned this on the last Steven Spielberg movie, The Color Purple, but he is at that time, I don't know if he still is, the youngest director to start working in TV. He was directing TV when he was like 21 or some shit
He
like that.
directed like a
After he did
pilot for some show
Yeah.
that had Joan Crawford in it.
Joan Crawford was his first project.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean,
he-
she was old, but
He
it
knew
was still
his
Joan
shit,
Crawford.
though.
Yeah.
He knew his shit. They signed him to a contract, and he was working in TV
Yeah.
while, George Lucas and Scorsese and De Palma, all those guys were nipping at his heels trying to make their movies.
Well, Scorsese would show up on the set once in a while. There's
Yeah.
actually a picture of him in like
Yeah,
a
they all
wetsuit, just
came
chilling
up
in the water
together.
with him. Hmm.
That was
Yeah.
crazy to be a part. Dude, that's like the Brat Pack of directors.
Could you
right
imagine like their one friend who just never really made it? He was just
there.
I don't know who he is, but he's just like the dude who only has like a couple of hits.
Yeah.
Or like a B-rated movies.
It's
but
like the two guys that didn't end up in the Beatles.
yes, exactly. You're like,
What are the
I
names like
was-
Patrick and something else? I don't
There's two. I
remember.
thought there was only one.
It's two.
Oh shit.
2 of them. Yeah.
There's one for Ringo and there's one for John, huh?
Uh,
Or George?
I don't remember who the other one was.
One was for
I think
Ringo,
he was a piano player or something like that.
That's cool. We could have had some cool piano
Strumming
riffs.
keys.
Damn.
Okay, so let's dive into this movie and the makings of it.
I just want to say there's a lot of fun facts about
There's
this
so
movie.
much. We're not going to get to everything. Don't get
please-
mad at us,
Yes,
guys.
please don't get mad at me.
It would
I
take
tried so hard.
6 hours. You just said yourself, there's a 7-episode podcast about the Jaws
Yeah.
movies.
I listened to all of them too, and it was really good.
So I'm going to rattle some shit off. First of all, it took way longer to shoot this than anticipated.
Yes.
Because they were struggling to match the color of the water.
Yep.
Because of weather, because of daylight and everything, every time they would shoot, the water would be a different color.
Can I get
And
another
that
one?
would fuck up continuity. Yes.
Another thing is, they did not test Bruce out in the water,
No,
yo.
they did not.
They put that bitch in the water for the first time, and that motherfucker sank Boop, 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 down to the bottom. And
Straight
they had
up
to
sank.
get a bunch of divers to go get him
Uh-huh.
because he's like,
Which caused
2 tons.
rewrites.
really?
Yeah, they had to rewrite the script. Why do you think you rarely see him?
I kind of like that.
They
you really
stumbled on. Yeah, exactly. They stumbled onto gold because the villain. This is before they learned that the scariest villain is the one that you never see.
Yeah.
Therefore, they had to rewrite it in a way where you didn't actually see the shark.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would have had to stop filming altogether. So yeah, Spielberg was
when-
literally rewriting scenes after the shark sank.
Okay, I got 2 fun facts.
Okay.
1, the shark fucked up every time. It took tons of takes, and every time they put him in the water, he'd fuck up to the point that Steven changed his whole shooting schedule to just shoot the land shots first until they can figure out what to fucking do with Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of them.
Yep.
Can I also give you a fun fact that I learned from the podcast about how he
Throw it out there.
how he got the script?
Yeah.
Do you know this one?
No, I don't.
Okay, so he was working with Universal, and he met with, I guess, the producer of this movie, and he was waiting for him in his office, and he just didn't show up. He wouldn't show up. He didn't show up. His assistant's like, he should be here. I don't know when. And he said he looked over on this guy's bookshelf, and he had like a glass statue of like the Bates Motel house
Okay.
from Psycho. And he said he pushed it aside, and there was stacks and stacks and stacks of just like kind of rejected or limbo scripts.
Yeah.
And he saw them, and he was like, oh, I could do something with this. I could do something with this. And he just took the stack and was like running out, and the
Nice.
assistant's like, hey, you don't want to wait for him? He's like, no, it's cool. It's cool.
fine. I got
It's
something
fine.
better right
Don't worry
here.
about it.
Suckers.
He even dropped papers, and the assistant helped him pick up papers he stolen. And then he went home, he read the script, and then he came back to him and was like, look, these are my ideas about this Jaws movie. I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, where the fuck did you even get that? I was wondering what happened to those scripts. Like, what happened to those? And you stole them. And they had gone through a different...
Yes, I did. Now, you want to make some money with me
You
or
want
not?
to make some money, bitch? And so they had gone through a bunch of like auditions for directors or interviews for directors or whatever. One director was like, okay, so we're going to start with the water, and then we're going to go up from the water, and you'll see the city and the sunlight, and then we'll just pan over, and you'll see the big whale just come out of the water. And they're like, bitch, it's a shark.
It's a shark.
You're fired.
Yeah, for sure. First of all, very stereotypical to come out of the water, see the city, and then pan left, and all of a sudden you see the shark.
Exactly. He was like, they're like, motherfucker, this is not Moby Dick.
Mm-hmm.
We doing Jaws. So that is, I guess, kind of how he got his hands on the script and made his way into being into this movie.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, Smashly. How you feeling?
You feeling good on your drink?
Let's there's a few other things I want to talk about this movie in terms of the filmmaking aspect.
Okay.
One of them we might as well dive into now.
Pun intended.
We're gonna do some tech corner stuff real quick.
Jason's Tech Corner. Yeah.
There's a very famous shot in this movie where the
Really?
sheriff. Yes, yes. I mean, there's a few of them,
Yeah.
which usually involve the sheriff, like the one where he like jumps up and it's like, oh shit, you're gonna need a bigger boat.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Where you first see the size of Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
But the one I want to talk about is called the dolly zoom.
Ooh.
So this shot is after the fucking mayor or whatever he is. They never really say what he is.
What are you talking about?
Vaughn, the guy who keeps saying, no, we're not closing the
No,
beach.
he is the mayor.
He is the mayor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because at the very, very beginning, when
They come up to
he gets all
sheriff.
the sheriff gets all the shit to make the signs like close his motherfucking beach down. He gives it to his like second involved, and they're walking
Yeah.
down the street. He's like, "Mayor, we had a
Oh,
motherfucking
he does
shark
say
bird."
mayor. Okay,
Mhm.
okay, good.
So he's
good,
the mayor.
good. That's why. Okay, well, this is a dolly zoom. So this is when the sheriff, played by Roy Scheider, is sitting in his in a little lawn chair
This is
on
the
the
famous-
beach. This is 4th of July, and
No, it's before 4th.
no, this is on the 4th.
Is it?
Yeah, because they say tomorrow's the 4th. You're not going to close down the beach on 4th of July.
So it's the 3rd.
No, it's the 4th.
He said tomorrow's the 4th.
Yeah, and then he's sitting in the lawn chair.
Okay. I thought that was like the same day. Like he,
Uh-uh.
it's a small town. He just like takes his.
Yeah, so the conversation was the day before, and then he says,
I'm gonna
"We're
disagree
not
with
closing."
you. You
All
can
right.
you can shake your head only
I
because
didn't shake. Did I shake my head? Did I shake my head, YouTube?
Yes, you did. Okay,
Your camera's there.
One, because I know. Okay, I'm just gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you. I think I'm correct. Fans, please write in the comments that I'm correct because it's whatever. Robin, we're gonna finish this up so
okay?
you don't get scared.
So scared.
She's so
I
scared.
know.
Fireworks.
We're doing this for our babies. All right, so let's do this.
So, July 4th, everybody is refusing to get in the water until Vaughn talks to some of the older people. It's like, he legit tells one of the guys who's like city councilman, he's like, nobody's getting in the water. Go get in the water. And this dude straight is reluctantly scared to take his wife and his kids into the water.
I have to say, I love that scene.
That's
of them
fucking-
being so scared.
They're so scared.
They're so scared. Like the kids are on the floating, the parents are like swimming next to them, like, oh god, any minute now.
Right?
And then as soon as
I
they
mean,
get
it
further
works
enough out,
because everybody else starts getting in
Everybody
the
gets
water.
back in the water.
But as they say in this movie, the way that people swim and play in the ocean basically is the exact motion that attracts sharks to them.
just don't go out deep.
Well, technically, it also says that most
It did go into
attacks
their little
happen
pond.
within 3 feet.
They did say it
Within
was
10 feet of the shore is where most attacks happen,
Is it-
according to the movie.
I don't
According
know.
to the movie,
I
you
watched-
gotta go based on the movie.
I'm just saying, I watched a tons of Shark Week
Mm-hmm.
in my life, and I think they're further out.
Maybe they
Within
wrote it in
everything.
specifically for the movie.
They did
but
it
that's
just to
what they
scare
say.
people off of the motherfucking beach, which this movie did.
It absolutely did. Made money for the movie industry, not so much for the beach industry.
Yeah, a lot of beach towns were ghost towns.
Okay, but everybody's in the water. They're having fun, this and that and the other. The tension is building. And all of a sudden, like you said, the little boy gets attacked. Mm-hmm. And as soon as he gets attacked and you see blood all over the water, they cut to a shot of the sheriff and you see him and it punches in on him, but at the same time, the back of the background is zooming as well. So that is a special trick that filmmakers or cinematographers use called the dolly zoom. You can only do this if you have a zoom lens. So what you do, depending on the effect you want, whether if you want the background to be moving backwards or if you want it to be coming forward, you zoom, but at the same time you got to time it out. So as you're zooming, which brings the subject closer or further, you also either push the camera forward or pull it backwards.
Right.
And therefore, you do that in a way to where the subject stays where it's supposed to and stays in focus. And that's how you get like that ripple effect that they do that discombobulates the audience.
Question: is that like the first one of that, or is that just the first big one of that? Like, did he invent that?
I don't think he invented it, but
Because that is a really cool
I don't think so.
effect,
I
and
think-
it does happen a lot.
I want to say that I saw that shot in earlier movies, like Hitchcock has done it a few times. I want
You're
to say.
right. You're right.
I think
he
I
does
saw it in Vertigo.
Oh, you're right. He does do it in
He
Vertigo.
does do it in Vertigo,
He does.
which makes sense
It makes
because
sense.
Vertigo is something that's supposed to make you feel
You're right.
off balance and discombobulated. So Spielberg didn't invent it; he just utilized it.
So you think he?
I don't know who invented it. No idea.
He did get kicked off of Alfred Hitchcock's
He-
sound
He
studio.
did. He did. And that is the dolly zoom, people.
That's really cool.
It's a good one.
I want you to.
I
do,
want to do that.
I
shot.
want you to do
But
it too, but you don't have a dolly.
I have a dolly.
You got a dolly?
Yeah.
Then, bitch, I want you to do one on me.
I don't have a
Let's-
zoom lens.
Oh,
But I mean, that's not hard to get a hold of. More importantly, I don't have a reason to do it. I'm a firm believer that every shot needs to be for a specific reason. You don't do a one shot just to prove that you can. You do it if it serves the story.
I don't
We talked
know.
about this.
I like a really good. If you can do a really good one shot, I'm all about it.
But it's got to have a reason. You can't just do it just for the sake of doing it and be like, look, I'm a legit filmmaker now.
We did talk
because
about
I did
it.
a one shot.
We did it. We talked about it in Boogie Nights. He does
Mm-hmm.
the whole one shot in like the first scene. It's one of the longest like one shots because it goes from like a crane in
Mm.
the sky coming down to the street into the club, and you
Yep.
were introduced to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he didn't have to do it that way, but
But
he
at the same
did.
time, he did, and it had a great reason. And he
Yeah.
did that a number of times because that was a time when he's introducing everybody,
okay,
and he's also introducing everybody again when they're at the pool party.
yeah,
Same way as Scorsese in the Copacabana one shot, because he's introducing her to this lifestyle.
that's true because
And
they go
how
all
he's
the
got
way from
caught
the
through
car
everything.
through the back of the kitchen to the.
Mhm.
All right, you're right.
So
You're
it's
right.
got to have a good reason.
Okay, I like it.
Same with the dolly zoom.
Well, I love me some Steven Spielberg,
Love
and we will
Steven
definitely
Spielberg.
have like E.T. on here.
You know what he's doing
Close
next?
to Ready Player 1, 2.
Next level.
Next
Ready
level.
Player 1, level 2.
Level
That'd be
2.
cool.
That's what I
I
want.
liked Ready Player 1.
Me too. Can
But
we
no.
do that one?
Fuck yeah.
I like that movie.
Yeah, I thought it was a great movie.
It was really good.
So much pop culture from the 80s.
It was one of his. I mean, it brought him back into the zeitgeist of
Mm-hmm.
younger generations. Like, oh yeah, I did like that movie because I mean, they might not know Jaws, which I don't know how you don't know because it comes on every July right before Shark Week,
Mm-hmm.
the Discovery Channel, and I mean, it's just a good movie, and it's
Well-
one of our oldest movies.
His current next movie is West Side Story.
That's right.
He's doing West Side Story right now.
When does that come out? Because we have to do the original before
2020.
it comes out. Okay, so we got time.
So we got a little time. He's got another Indiana Jones project announced. Just announced. And also the kidnapping of Edgardo Mortera.
Never heard of him.
I don't either. But that one's in pre-production. These are just the ones that he is directing.
Okay.
So he's slated as a director for the next Indiana Jones, as well as West Side Story and this kidnapping movie.
I just can't look at your hair. It's driving me. It's making me laugh.
I
so
forgot
hard.
it was there.
You look like literally like 2001 called, and they
thinking
said,
of,
"Give me
like-
my fucking faux hawk back, please." It looks good though. It's just I find myself looking at it like
When I was doing it, I just kept thinking of freaking LL Cool J's song. He's like, deep as blue as my head is like a shark's fin.
oh my god.
Deep Blue Sea, what's happening?
Time out.
Take me back to the ghetto.
Mario, I know you don't listen to this motherfucking bitch. This fool, he's one of my oldest friends, dearest friends. I've known
Okay.
him for like a decade. This fool goes to the gym, and I'm like, you can listen to us when you go to the gym.
I mean,
Why don't you just like, you know,
if he's
run
trying to
over
stay motivated.
Hey, we're motivating. Anyway, he listens to one song on repeat the whole time while he's at the gym. And I was like, bitch, you better listen to us while you're at the gym. You listen to one song over and over and give him a bunch of hits on Spotify. Fuck that shit. So, yesterday before I left work, he said that LL Cool J line to me and said that we needed to add it into the fucking show. So, Mario, if you
Gotta
ever
listen to us.
if you ever listen to us, you'll know that we did do it, you motherfucking bitch.
Boom. Not even on purpose.
Not even
Not
on
even
purpose.
for you.
Nope.
But maybe once you start listening to us.
Hey, Cheese. That's what I call him.
His name's Cheese.
Cheese. Remember that one time we
Did
threw
we-
you in the dumpster?
I got out.
Oh, okay.
Cool, man.
Cool, man.
So, somebody we need to talk about, especially for this movie, Mr. John Williams.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
John Williams is the composer of Jaws.
And so
many other things, obviously.
Can I give you a little rundown?
Yes.
Okay. So, this fool has done music for big-ass movies like Star Wars,
Mm-hmm.
Some Like It Hot, Superman, Airplane, Mr. Mom, Ferris Bueller's
love
Day
Mr.
Off,
Mom.
Home Alone, Saving Private Ryan, and so many motherfucking more. I couldn't even name all
You
of them
can't.
because
You
there's
can't
so
name
many.
all of them.
I was hoping that he did E.T., but I did not see him do E.T.
I don't think he did E.T..
The music in this kind of similar reminds me of the E.T. music.
Mm.
Like when it's just like, not necessarily when the shark is, but like when they're just sitting on like the beach and like the weird like, kind of sounds like E.T. to me.
For the younger generation, he also did Harry Potter.
Oh, that's right. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
As well as the Sorcerer's Stone.
He
And I
did
think
Sorcerer's Stone, too?
Yeah. Chamber of Secrets, he did that one too.
You guys, I gotta finish these fucking books. I'm sorry. I am just slacking, but I'm doing all these works for you guys. You guys are taking my reading time.
He continues to work with Spielberg as well as George Lucas. So I don't know if Spielberg recommended him to
Mm-hmm.
George Lucas or what. But he did Jurassic Park. He
Yes.
did Schindler's List.
Yes.
He did Saving Private Ryan.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
list goes on.
And the list
As well as
goes
The
on.
Patriot.
I was going to mention that
You
because
did?
we did talk about that.
Yeah.
Maybe next 4th of July we'll do something like that. The Patriot.
Yeah, that would be good.
I mean,
well,
like,
the reason why I say The Patriot is because he is also one of the people that came up in that group of directors.
Okay. Can I
So
give
they all just, you got a music guy? Yeah. John, this guy, John Williams, you know, he just did my Jaws movie. Oh yeah, he did my Star Wars movie too.
Come
Yeah, he's good. Give him a call.
coming out with bangers?
Oh.
So
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, George. Yeah, give him my number. We'll talk. We'll see if I can't hire him.
do you know the
But I got him in June.
do you know the story of him and the Jaws song?
Mm-mm.
Doo-dum, doo-dum,
Was he just
doo-dum,
sitting there,
doo-dum,
like,
doo-dum,
playing with keys?
He realized,
Mm.
like we talked about, that it's scarier not to see the monster than it is to see the monster.
Mm-hmm.
But it's even more scarier if you hear the monster and you can't see the monster.
Yep.
So his little 2-note little shit.
Your imagination will frighten you way more than what's in front of you.
Yeah, so he played the score for Scorsese. Whoa, Spielberg.
No, Scorsese did that's the other project. he
That's
was
the
doing.
other project he worked on. He laughed and said, like, "That's funny, John. Really, what did you do for the song? What did you have in mind?" And he's like, "No, this is what I had in mind. Like, I want this song to feel like the shark."
Uh-huh.
Even when you like, this song is so popular that even when you don't see a shark, if you hear this, you think of a shark
Goosebumps.
instantly.
Fuck yeah.
And as I was going through
Play that shit on a beach and see what happens.
as I was going through John's filmography, a lot of the things that he's named for is for movies using Jaws theme in their movie.
Dude.
Caddyshack used it in their movie.
Uh-huh.
So
So
many
many people.
have used
So
it
many people
in
have
their
reused
movie.
this.
That it just shows like, oh, fear, something's coming. Something you can't see
Yeah,
is coming.
it's synonymous with something is after you.
Something's after you can't see is coming fucking for you. So Steven said, like, later on, he stated that, like, you know, this song made the movie. Like, this movie would be 50% of what it really is if it wasn't for this song.
John Williams killed it.
Killed it. And I loved it. I was like, oh, shit. I made
if
sure
I was
I
John
was talking
Williams,
about
would
him.
be like, wait a minute, does that mean that I'm responsible for $200 million? And you guys only paid me how much?
So, shouldn't there be, like, two more
Sounds like
zeros
I get a
on my...
bonus.
On my fucking paycheck?
Sounds
So, yeah.
like you owe me money.
But I'm sure that, so when you do a score or a song for a movie, and it's for that movie,
Mm-hmm.
and then another movie uses it, is it like music?
You get paid again.
So it's like
Same way
so
as
you
if-
get like royalties.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
I
I
mean,
always wondered
you
that.
you license it. You license it for the project, so you negotiate a price.
I get that because they do
So,
that when you have a movie and you use a famous song in the movie,
Exactly.
and then you have to ask permission to use it. So when they use Jaws,
Uh-huh.
they don't have to go to Spielberg; they go to John.
I'll give you a reference. Okay, so Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
Tarantino's very first movie.
Yeah,
They had only $13,000 left from the budget for music. Tarantino was very adamant that while the character is getting like his ass beat and like they,
stuck
cut the
in
ear
the
off.
middle with you.
Exactly. He needed that song in the movie. He didn't care about anything else. He needed that song. Therefore, they got that song for the low, low price of $13,000.
That is a low price for a song.
That's how much for one song.
I mean,
And that's a steal.
It's
If it's a famous
very
song,
famous, popular
musicians
song.
get their money.
I get that, and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
And when I hear that fucking song, I literally only think of someone cutting Mr. Blonde cutting
Dude.
it off his fucking ear, and he's like, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?"
Motherfucker. Motherfucker.
We will do that movie because I love
Michael
that movie.
Madsen, if you guys don't know what we're talking about. Homeboy's dancing.
Stuck in the middle with you. He's like, with his like razor, and he
Yeah.
fucking jumps on him and he cuts his ear off.
What does he tell him? You can, whether you know something or whether you don't know something, this is still going to happen.
Still gonna happen. Can you hear me? I love that. He
Motherfucker.
talks into his ear he
He's
cut
out of
off
his mind.
and asks him, can he hear him? Okay.
So that's how music licensing works.
All right.
You
fine.
negotiate a price with the artist or with the label, whatever.
I like that fun fact. That was cool. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Who are we moving on to?
We can start with the cast.
Can
Yeah.
I give?
There's
Wait, I'm gonna give
only-
you a cool fun fact.
There's
before we
only
move on.
5 people in this cast, really.
Can I give you another fun fact?
That's pretty good.
Thank you. The prop arm, when they find the first body on the beach,
Oh,
and they see the prop arm is sitting there,
Uh-huh.
that's a real motherfucking arm, y'all. They found a female crew member and they buried her in the ground. And the
The hell am I hearing?
planes. Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is? Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July. I know this is like a week later, but
This movie is set on 4th of July.
so perf. Okay, yeah.
2
so
4th of July movies this year.
back to back. So yeah, they found a crew member, female
Mm-hmm.
crew member. They buried the bitch in the sand and had her stick her hand up.
They give her a straw or something like the
They didn't
ninjas?
bury her head. I'm sure they just you don't see anything but her arm.
Okay.
So what I'm assuming is they build up like a nice mound so that you only see.
She's
the back
out of
your
frame.
shoulder. She's
Yeah.
out of frame.
They framed
So-
her out. I got you.
That's a cool one. I thought that was pretty cool
Mm-hmm.
because I did think that looked like a pretty real arm.
Yeah. I mean, the other one has to be fake when it's like got like bitten off and shit. Like
Yeah.
from the scene we did last week where he's like, so here's what happens, and he holds up the arm.
Yeah. Do you want to move on?
Yeah, let's talk about these people
Who are we talking
because
about?
there's not a lot. First and foremost, we're going to talk about Miss Lorraine Gary,
Wait,
plays
okay,
the sheriff's
so
wife.
obviously I know you're not going to talk about this person if that's where we're starting. So I'm going to throw this one up in there because she has two really cool fun facts. I'm gonna
Okay.
do that. Lee Flairlow, Mrs. Kinter,
Okay.
the mother whose
Slaps
son...
the shit out of the
She
sheriff.
slaps the shit out of the sheriff and her son.
Do you think
dies.
that he is responsible?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the sheriff.
Unfortunately,
He should have stood his ground.
I would have told the fucking mayor to go fuck himself. And
Yeah,
I would have closed
exactly.
it. You would just have to fire me. You're a New Yorker. You got to put up with this shit?
Exactly. Yeah, he's a little soft to
Because
be
I
the
feel
sheriff.
it's his first year. He's trying not to like fuck up and like trying not to
trying to
piss
walk
off
the line.
people because okay. There's a very small part that if you don't really pay attention, you probably don't know it. One of the girls is like, I've been living here for like 10 years. Am I an islander yet? And the lady
Nope.
goes, if you're not born here, you're not an islander.
Yeah.
So obviously he's already an outcast.
He's an outsider.
So no matter what he does, even
He's
though
a
he's a
visitor.
sheriff, sheriff. He's a sheriff from out of town. Mm-hmm. So he's just trying to like walk the line like for many, many, many years. Sharks haven't been attacking here. Our 4th of Julys are really big, and our summers bring us a lot of money. So he doesn't want to fuck that up.
I get that.
If it was maybe his like 3rd, 4th year there,
he would have
told
some
that
clout by
he
then.
would have told that mayor to go fuck himself, and he would have closed the beach down. But then again, you have to think that it's just him and one other deputy.
Yeah, they're by themselves. Small
Yeah.
town, this, that, and the other.
How are you going to stop all these people from doing anything?
At the same time, you know, when you know that there was a shark attack, close the fucking beach.
Just for a little while.
Plain and simple.
Until the shark
Like,
at least thinks there's no one there.
It's almost like he's answering to the mayor constantly. Like, he is making recommendations. Like, even the mayor says, you know, we're only closing it for 24 hours. As soon as people panic, he says, it's only for 24 hours. And the sheriff's like, no, I didn't agree to that shit. Wait a minute. What? But he says it, like, weak.
He's like, wait, I need to
You know?
do
He
what?
doesn't stand his ground about it.
Yeah.
There's so many things about this movie that are frustrating. And I don't know if that's on purpose or what, but it's like people are stupid.
That's because we're rooting for
Yeah.
the two main characters who actually see what this is.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the sheriff
Yeah.
at first kind of doesn't want to see what it is. Oh, we caught the fucking shark. Cool. Let's open these beaches back up. But when he's like,
Immediately.
this isn't the shark. There's
Yeah.
no way it could be the
The
shark.
bite radius is too small.
Yeah. Then he starts being like, well, I got to figure out how to keep these people safe. And then when
Okay.
it comes to the point where it's his son's life in danger.
I mean, Hooper says it. He's like, as soon as I leave, you're the only rational thinker on this
on
island.
this island.
And he's right. Like,
Oh my God. If someone said that to me, I would panic. I would seriously panic. I'm like, I have no other person to help me.
I would feel alone. I was like, wait, I'm the sheriff of Stupid Town?
Stupid town.
Sorry, Saint Upid.
There's a podcast I listen to called Dumb People Town. And
Oh
they
my
read
God.
article stories about dumb people
There's
all over the
so
world, all over
much-
the country
there's so
that do
much
dumb shit.
stupid shit
And he's
going
the
on.
sheriff of Dumb People Town.
I love what Hooper does in this movie with the stupid people.
He's like, you're going to go kill yourself.
Yeah, he tells the people, he's like, excuse me, gentlemen, the sheriff wanted me to inform you that you're overloading that boat. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, well, can you tell me where the closest restaurant or hotel is? You go
Go
straight
straight
ahead.
ahead.
Okay, you're all going to die.
Yeah, you're all going to die, you dumbass motherfucker. Okay, so Lee, she says that people would come up to her and ask her to slap them because she famously slapped
Slap the sheriff.
the sheriff. She slapped him quite a few times, quite a few takes,
Sure.
to get it right. She just wasn't doing it right at first.
Aw,
And-
don't hold back.
I wouldn't. My first one would be the hardest one, and then it would get less and less from there.
Yeah. Leo had his wife in Wolf of Wall Street slap him for 45 minutes straight in order to get that scene right.
By 30 minutes, I'd be like, Leo, man, my hand hurts. You really want me to keep slapping you like this?
Such is our dedication to our craft.
He's such an ass in that movie. I
Oh,
would
yeah.
want him to.
This is
I
where
would
he
have something to-
pulls. She pulls him out of the limo when he's snorting cocaine off of what's her name's tits.
Their tits. Oh, you're right.
Margot Robbie.
You're right. His first wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. From How I Met Your Mother.
I was wondering if you were gonna say it.
Okay, so yeah, she did the slap a cajillion times, but, and she would say when she would do the slap, she'd be like, "I'm doing it for the fans. They want me to do it. I'm gonna slap them," like kind of shit.
Okay. She would actually slap people.
Yeah, people would be like, "Oh my God, can you slap me, please? I love you."
As soon as they would say that, I would just do it. Like, oh, I
I'd be
didn't
like-
expect it. Like,
I'd be like,
"You're
"Oh my
welcome."
God, can you slap?" And you're like, "Oh my God, she slapped me."
I feel like the sheriff.
I feel like the sheriff of Dumb People Town. So, she also
This one time.
this one time at band camp, she went to a seafood restaurant and she saw on the menu Alex Kinter sandwich.
No.
And she told the waiter, like, I actually played his mother in the movie. And they're like,
well, your sandwich is free.
they're like, "Oh my God, really? Hold on a second. Let me go get the owner." And the owner comes out, and the owner's name is Jeffrey Voorhees, who plays the kid that gets eaten by the shark. And that was the first time they had seen each other since that movie. So this was probably like
shit.
Early 90s, probably.
Wow.
Yeah, something like that.
That's crazy.
How crazy is that? I thought that was a crazy ass story. Mom,
I didn't die. That's crazy.
My son?
That's freaking awesome.
So yeah,
Alex Kinter sandwich.
yeah.
I mean, only he could do that.
I mean, I would get mad if it was anyone
If it was
else.
somebody else,
Yeah.
yeah. Because you know how people like make like these restaurants and they'll name like their burger a Royale with cheese or something like that. That's fine. But if you make an Alex Kinter sandwich,
Where can I go to get a
bloody
Royale
as hell.
cheese?
The Black Sheep, yo.
Let's go.
Downtown
Lights,
LA.
camera, cocktails.
Later. Trying to get that beef.
Yup.
Okay. So Lorraine Gary, I want to talk about. She plays Sheriff Brody's wife.
Yes.
She one thing that has to be said is this movie was made in 1975 and therefore acting was different.
That's why I said this movie still holds up.
Yeah.
Because it is in a different era.
There are some actors, and by some actors I mean the actors who are the main actors who are ahead of their time in terms of craft, like Richard Dreyfuss and Robert Shaw and Roy Scheider. They understand naturalistic acting and living in the moment and, you know, this, that, and the other.
Right.
Lorraine, I feel, is from the previous time where it's more presentational and it's more theatrical, and, you know, when you're crying you make a face but you're not really feeling anything, and this, that, and the other. But in the 70s that was normal.
Can I give you why she got the role?
Why'd she get the role?
She was married to the producer.
Damn. Never cast based on relationships.
I think there was 2 producers on this movie, and both of them wanted their wives to play that role, and she won out. This is all I get from the inside.
And I get it. It was Spielberg's first movie, and he
So
didn't
how you
have a
gonna
lot
say
of
no?
negotiation.
I wouldn't say no either.
I mean,
But she was a known actress at the time, so it wasn't like
Okay.
she was a nobody.
okay.
People knew her. She was semi-famous, or I don't know what. I only know her from this.
But if you're not right for the part, you're not right for the part.
So are you saying the scene where she's watching her son and her husband mimic each other, she wasn't feeling anything? Like, what scene are you saying that? Give me an example.
When her son is passed out on the beach because of the shark, you know.
I think that he wasn't that great either, but I understand that.
But that was
he's trying
her
to be
scene.
calm.
That was her scene.
You're supposed to
that
be
was
a
her time to shine.
You're supposed to be a hysterical mother because mothers are hysterical when something happens to their babies. Fathers are usually more of the calmer one, and plus him being a sheriff, he has to be calm, so I get that. Because he does freak out a little bit when he runs around, he goes, grabs blankets or whatever, and he's just like, no, he's not dead, he's in shock. Okay, good. Let me go do this. But you're right. I would have made a big spectacle because mamas make big spectacles.
I mean,
when their babies hurt.
Yeah, if you're a parent or even, you know, you got nieces and nephews, it's not hard to. I'm not trying to talk no shit, but like we've been in these situations, we've seen these scenes. Like Ashley tells me stories. One that sticks out in my mind of Anna Camp when she was working on Good Girls Revolt. There was a scene where this actor she was working off of was supposed to be feeling emotional because she's getting a letter saying that her husband is dead. And yet Anna Camp's the one that's like getting choked up and she's trying to not cry
Because you can't
because she's
overshadow.
she's trying to not outshine this actress. But this actress isn't feeling shit.
Put fake tears in her eyes.
They put fake tears in her eyes.
Oh.
That's what they have to do nowadays.
I've never had
when
to
actors
have fake
can't.
tears before.
I
just dig deep.
Here's a tip for all my actors out there. If you have a scene where you're supposed to be crying, don't try to cry.
Feel it.
Live in the moment. Let the circumstances work over you.
Isn't that what Steven Spielberg's mama said?
Something.
Live in the motherfucking moment. And that's how
If
you
you
get those
have
tears.
questions in your mind about the scene, answer the questions before you step on
Oh, yeah.
stage, on camera,
Do your
whatever
notes,
it
man.
is. If your mind is thinking about what you're having for dinner, you haven't answered all your questions yet. Plain and simple. Don't work for the tears. There's actors that have had tremendous careers and they've never shed a single tear on stage or on camera.
Yep.
It's not about that.
There's some that don't ever, but
Yeah.
when they do, you feel it.
And it's more so,
if
people don't
Denzel
want to
cries-
see you cry.
No.
They want to see you fight the urge to cry.
I was watching an interview with somebody, and they said, pick your cry in scene. Make sure that it makes sense. Don't just cry just to cry.
Mm-hmm.
Cry because that is your
Yeah,
last
don't cry in
option.
every single scene. Get the
Because
fuck
then
out.
people are gonna
Then
be like,
it
"This is a
loses its
whiny ass
power.
baby was just crying
Exactly.
through everything."
And back then, this was the time when people
We're
would
coming out
make
of the
their
60s.
faces.
Yeah,
They'd make their faces. That's what they would do. It's like they would ask actors at the end of the day, "How'd you do?" "I made all my faces." You know.
oh Lord.
Well, so like you said, Lorraine Gary, she had some credits built up by this
Yeah.
time. You know, she
Yeah.
had reputable, and she's in Jaws 2. I think she was in Jaws 3. I want to say.
Well,
Wait, no, she's not.
Brody is only up till 2,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, you're
He's only
right.
in the second one, so she would only be in the second
I
one.
ain't seen these in years.
I do remember him in 2. And then I've seen the part 3, but
She
never in 3D.
Is in Jaws: The Revenge.
Is that 4?
I don't know. It's just slated as Jaws: The Revenge.
What year is that?
87.
Yeah, maybe
That might be 4.
that's probably 4. I don't think I've seen that one.
Okay. Well, that was her last role. 1987.
Hey man, if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out on the Jaws. Even if it's Jaws 19, I'm on it.
You know what else she was in? Car Wash.
Working at the car wash. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait, that car wash is not down the street from here, right? Because there's a sign that looks like the car wash sign.
I don't know. We got to do the movie.
And
I do know that car wash is where they filmed Justin Timberlake's music video.
Which one?
I don't remember. Before he went country.
There was a lot before he went country, dude.
It's
What album? Justify? That
No,
sounds right.
way past Justified. Maybe 2020.
Future
It was
Sex,
between
Love,
2020
Sound.
Experience and Man of the Woods.
So it's 2020.
It might have been a single.
Okay. I'm about to look it up and be like, oh my god, we're down the street from there.
Yeah, around the corner. They got this dude dancing in front of the car wash. And like he's dancing like underneath a bridge, which is just down
Yeah.
the street from us.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch it because
It's
you're
funny
right.
when you see these things and it's like, motherfucker, you were on my street?
Literally, that's how I
Where
feel.
was I? I must have been at work that day.
Literally, that's how I feel anytime I watch a San Francisco movie. I'm always like, oh my god, I know where that is. Oh my god, my friend used to live over there.
Whoa.
The bottom, huh?
I just got all the alcohol.
All right, well, let's knock this out because I'm not trying to get too drunk because I haven't hit a barbecue yet. So let's do this.
Oh, you ever see that shot in Aladdin where the fire guy in the cartoon
Oh, and he
eats the fire and there's like,
Is that you?
yeah, shit. Okay.
Can I give you a fun fact before we move on?
Sure.
Okay, the shark that. Okay. Fun fact. I feel like I haven't done that.
you.
For you. The shark that they catch, that they think is Jaws, that is hanging there. They take the pictures in front of it. All that shit. That's a real shark, guys.
What? Really?
Yeah.
It looked rubber.
That's something that we, in the 2009s, can't really imagine you having a real shark heart hanging for a movie. But that's literally what happened. So what happened was, a couple days before the shoot of that, there were some fishermen hired off of the coast there that could not catch a shark. They said they could, but they couldn't. So the studio sent 2 guys all the way to Florida. And they met someone who was like, yeah, dude, I know some guys that just dropped off a shark carcass in front of my fucking place like 2 days ago.
Nice.
So they find these guys, they hand them $1,000 and was like, I need a shark like tomorrow. And so they're like, all right. They go out there, they find a shark, they kill it, and they bring it back to the people.
Dude,
So the
that's
people
crazy.
Pack it in salt and ice
Uh-huh.
in a crate, and then Steven Spielberg gets a phone call from them saying, there is no airlines that is willing to take this decomposing shark on their fucking plane that weighs like 2,000 pounds or
Yep.
whatever. So
Tiger shark.
The studio had to send a private jet to bring this funky ass 2-day
Damn, what the hell is that smell?
And what the hell is that smell? Sent 2 days. It's been killed.
Uh-huh.
Sent it all the way over there to them and hung it up on the hook. It smelled awful. People were just like, like, dealing with it.
Yeah. I mean, dude, that's crazy. Does that mean that they legit cut it open on the scene?
I did not
Because
read
you
any
see
of that, but they did cut.
Richard Dreyfuss cut it open and then throw out like heads and like because they threw out a license plate and like some other
He's
shit.
like, I knew he came up from up the coast.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think they would cut it open for real
But-
because it's off frame as well.
Right.
It's below the frame.
But that shark that's hanging on the hook
That's a
that
real
they're
shark,
all taking
huh?
a picture of.
That's interesting. I don't know my sharks because I looked at that thing and I was like, that's rubber as hell.
That's a shark.
Apparently, that's what
It's a real shark.
Sharks look like rubber.
When I read that, I was like, what the fuck? Why would you do that? All right,
So
so
let's
who's next?
talk about this motherfucking mayor, Marie Hamilton.
I got a story about him, but go ahead.
He pisses me off so much. He's just, you know what? He's just that guy. He's that guy that started out as a little kid who would always cause trouble and you always wanted to beat his ass, but he always ran inside his house and hid behind his parents or some shit like that.
Yeah.
That's who he is. And he grows up to be the mayor.
I don't know how
he's
they.
an opportunist.
He must party with them hard. That's how I think. He's probably like an islander.
Uh-huh.
Been there his whole life. He be
Sure.
doing shady deals on the back end.
Yeah,
but
yeah, definitely.
He be smiling and waving in the front.
Mm-hmm.
And some people know his dirt and some people don't. That's how I see him as. He's just a crooked mayor that any real mayor would just shut shit down.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Ford.
If he really cared about the people, he would shut that fucking
Yeah.
beach down. And
And
he's
they didn't-
in the other ones. He's the mayor.
And it's not like they have Google. So if they were coming here, they're coming here. Even if the beach is closed, they're still going to be in your town.
I don't know if I've seen part 2 and 3 and 4. I've seen like snippets, and I may have seen the whole thing
I've
when I was
seen
a
up
kid.
to 3, but I don't remember them that well.
I want to see if he's playing the same bullshit, stupid role, and if he's still refusing to shut down the beach again and again and again. It's like,
You need
motherfucker,
somebody.
you ain't learned your lesson yet. Like, even when he is in the hospital and the sheriff is telling him, sign this shit right here so that I can find this shark and kill it. And he's like, I don't know if I can do that. Motherfucker, a kid just died on your beach.
I just got slapped in the motherfucking face because of your decision. I didn't make that decision.
I mean, the sheriff is right. He feels responsible because it is his decision.
No,
and he should have stood his ground.
I'm not saying
But, yeah, I get you.
he had someone ahead of him, because if they never came to him and told him we're not shutting it down, it would have been shut down the very first day.
Mm-hmm.
It would have just been shut down.
It would have been shut
And
down. They
if
would
you
have
shut
handled
it down for about 2 days, the shark's gonna think there's no food out here, and he's
Mm-hmm.
gonna leave.
Yeah.
That's kind of what sharks they migrate. They keep moving.
Yeah.
And so that makes sense that if he would have did that, it probably would have been better, and
Mm-hmm.
they could have opened it up by the first murder. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If anything, if they were smart, they would have done that, and they would have. I mean, even still, the mayor would have never signed on to pay this dude $10,000 to find this shark. You know, it still would have been a process because he's a cheap motherfucker. It's all about that money.
I do want to say
He's
that
the Don King of mayors.
fuck you, Don King. Your racist ass motherfucking money grubby hair sticking up bitch. Anyway, so that
What's wrong with hair
scene-
sticking up?
Your hair sticking up, bitch. So that scene where Quince scrapes his fingernails
Oh, he
across
scrapes the
chalkboard
finger. Oh god,
has
I hate
been
that
done
sound.
in so many different movies mocking this movie, especially The Simpsons. That's probably one of the ones I remember the most
Yeah.
of it. It's a good scene. So, what are we doing? You want some more fun
Well, let's talk
facts?
about this dude. So he passed in 1986.
Why? Did they say
It doesn't say shark attack. No.
boating
I don't know.
accident?
But my dude was only 63 years old. So he died young.
I got a story from him.
What's that?
So the co-screenwriter of this talked on the podcast Inside Draws, and he said that this mayor was known for being like a saucy kind of dude who would drink
Mm,
on and off the set. He wasn't like a problem drunk on set, but
Sure.
after set, off set, he would go and he would like drink with his
I
friend,
had a few Chardonnays. What of it?
and he would get really drunk. And one time he got really drunk, and he was walking back to the hotel where the cast was staying, and he somehow came across a skunk. This skunk got him good.
Nice.
And so he went back to like his room or went back to the hotel and passed out. And people in the hotel was like, this shit reeks.
Nice.
To the fact that people had to get him, strip him of his clothes, give him multiple showers. And then the next morning he was ready to film on set.
Dude, skunks, don't mess with skunks. If you're going to get them,
Oh,
get
I
'em
run
from
away.
afar.
I don't know. I'm never going to get him. I see them.
You might.
I run.
They're in this area.
I know
We see them
they do
yearly.
come around. Yeah,
Robin's been sprayed 4 times.
they ain't gonna get me, cause I see it from a distance and I'm like, oh hell no, and I'm out.
You'll smell them before you see them.
I'm out.
But yeah, every time we got the front yard is gated off. You
Yeah.
know, it's protected. They can't get in because I got chicken wire all along the bottom of the fence.
But that don't stop no
But that-
spray.
What exactly? The spray gets through because Robin sees them or she smells them and she comes out and she starts barking, and they're running away and spraying her. I'm like, Robin, leave the fucking skunk alone. She'll come
Girl.
in and she'll start sneezing and spinning around. I was like, ah, shit, they got her.
Do you use tomato juice? Is that
No, it does not work.
the okay.
It does not work.
Baking soda?
You use a combination of, what is it, babe? Baking soda, dish soap, hydrogen peroxide, and water. First thing you do is you wipe that stuff off. It's a grease
Yeah.
that comes out of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
And so you wipe as much of that off physically before you put the solution.
Okay. I hope this never happens to me or my dog,
Mm-hmm.
but that sounds awful.
But yeah, Robin gets sprayed because she don't know how to
Robin,
leave the
sit your
skunks.
ass down and
She's
leave
down.
these fucking.
She's down at my feet. She's still scared of the fireworks.
All right, Robin, we're gonna finish it.
We're
up.
gonna
I'm
knock this
sorry.
out for you, Robin. Okay.
Okay.
Well, Murray Hamilton, you played a douchebag, but
And you got hit by a skunk.
yeah, you were in Jaws 2 as well. You didn't make it to Jaws 3
Mm-hmm.
or Jaws: The Revenge. Like we said, he died in 1986, and that one came out in 87. He had complications with cancer early
Oh,
on.
okay.
He
Okay.
wasn't the graduate. He played Mr. Robinson.
That's him.
That's him.
In the
yeah.
graduate.
Yeah, he's the husband to
Oh, you're
Mrs.
right, he's the
Robinson. You're
dad.
trying to seduce me.
Oh, he's Mr. Rob. You're
He's
right.
Mr. Robinson.
You're right.
Yeah, Dustin Hoffman tags his wife
And his daughter.
and his daughter.
Okay, that's true. Okay, I didn't even realize that. That's funny.
I don't know if I want to save this person for last because he is the most famous of the group. I'm going to because he's also my favorite character in this movie. So let's talk about Robert Shaw.
Let's talk about Robert Shaw.
Let's
I
talk
got
about-
some facts about him.
All right, hit me with it.
So, Robert Shaw
Mm-hmm.
and Richard Dreyfuss, they couldn't stand each other. I don't know if you know this.
Perfect. They
They
weren't
cr-
supposed to like each other.
The reason why they weren't supposed to like each other is because the co-screenwriter was on set. He's
Uh-huh.
actually an extra in the movie. He plays one of the reporters.
Oh, okay.
So he could see their tension on set.
I
And kinda-
see.
Wrote it
He
that way.
See, there was a bunch of rewrites on this.
They
This
were
is one
writing
of the
it
rare-
days before
This is one of the rare occasions where rewrites on set worked.
it worked. It did.
Because it never works. I do not recommend it to anybody.
So Robert, he would pick on Dreyfuss all the time, telling him he's fat, he's a loser, bunch of shit, like a lot of shit.
Was he trying to get him to do that?
Well,
I mean, was he trying to get under Richard Dreyfuss's skin in order to piss him off for the scenes?
Robert had a drinking problem.
Ah, that explains it.
He would just go at him all the time.
Okay.
There's even a story of how Robert one time was like, "Help me out of this boat," or he said, I heard two different things of the story. He either said, "Help me out of this boat," or he said, "I wish I could quit drinking." It was one of those two.
Wow.
Richard Dreyfuss was like, "You know what, bitch?" And he took his drink and he fucking threw it. Because he would be on set
Unprofessional.
all the time drinking.
He was sauced up during. Okay.
He would be taking drinks in between takes. He'd be really drunk. And one time he was extremely, extremely drunk, taking his drink in between takes. And the scene where he talks about the SS
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis ship crash.
Great monologue.
That's what we're going to talk about. So when he was doing that scene, he was lit.
Nice.
So lit. Which is supposed to be. That scene is known for them both to be drunk.
Both to be drunk, but
He was
Richard
like,
Dreyfuss,
he's not drunk.
yeah, he's not actually drunk.
He's not actually
playing drunk. He's being a professional actor.
So Robert would he would drink in between takes, and he did that scene and fucked it up.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
They
that he
couldn't
fucked it up.
use any of that, pretty much. I mean, some of it. I think they used up until like them showing each other's scars. I think that was more of the drunken that they wanted. But when it comes to you telling the scariest moment of your fucking life,
He had to be sober.
he had to be sober.
Yeah.
So when they did do
Stupid ass.
when they did do the take, it turned out awful, and he knew it. Like as a professional actor, he knew like I done fucked up.
Yeah.
So he called Spielberg. He told him, "Yo, let me redo this tomorrow. I'm sorry, I got this," because he had previously come to them and told them about that monologue. Like, I kind of want to like tweak a little bit of this, a little bit of that, to make it feel a little more real.
Sure.
And he did this in front of them, like pretty much just did the whole scene in front of them, and they were like, "That's it. That's what we want." So, drunk him, fucked it up. Next day, sober him, or I wouldn't say sober him because he's an alcoholic, but semi-sober him.
Yeah. Did it right.
Did it right in one take. So
Okay.
the take that we see is pretty much that one take.
That's usually what
of when it
happens with alcoholics is once they realize they fucked up, when they try and reprimand or fix a problem that they already fucked up, they are they feel so bad and they feel so ashamed that they do actually come through as best as they can.
As best as they can. So, I mean, it's perfect because he's supposed to be drunk. He's supposed to be a drunk. But he came sober-ish and knocked that shit
Did it
out.
right. However, you're wasting a shitload of money.
You wasted a whole day of money on
And
a boat.
who knows, maybe that's why they killed him off. He could have been in Jaws too, but
See, this is
there's
why
a possibility, like you said, the writer was doing rewrites on set.
True.
So
But
they probably killed him off because they didn't want to work with him in part 2.
his character,
They could have just chopped off his leg.
I don't know what happens to him in the book. This is
That's
me
true.
fucking up. I'm sorry, you guys. I know I usually come with it with my books.
She's reading the Harry Potters right now. She can't do
Sorry.
everything.
I can't.
No.
But
Time is money.
I don't know if he died in the book or if that's how he died in the book or if he survived in the book. I don't know.
If you've read the book, hit us up at
Please hit me up
cocktail
and send me your used
at
book.
gmail.com.
I'd like to read it. So I don't know what with his character, but you're right. He could have made him live, or it could have made him die because they were just like, he's wasting too much motherfucking money of ours.
But that's a common thing. If you have a difficult actor, you write them off, you kill them off, you do what you got to do.
We talked about that
but
last
you don't
week.
want to work with them on the next episode or the next project.
Yeah.
Them fireworks are going
They popping.
off.
All right,
Off and
let's
popping.
knock this.
So, sorry, Robert Shaw, UK actor. Unfortunately, he had struggles with alcoholism. Died at the young age of 51.
Ooh.
He was very young. Very young. Yeah, 1978.
I was supposed to be like, he looked old in the movie,
He was
and he was on his 40s.
in his 40s.
Dang.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Black don't crack. I don't look like that.
Yeah.
Fuck. But alcohol does do that
I mean,
to you.
he's from the UK. So,
They don't have no melanin in their skin.
is that what it is?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looks like Old Spice at this point.
He is a really good pirate. Like,
Yeah.
he is.
He was in The Sting. He was
Yes.
in. You know what he was in?
Sting,
The
Sting.
original Taking Pelham 1, 2, 3, not the Denzel version.
I have not seen the original one. I
1974.
obviously seen
that was the
Denzel.
movie he did right before this one.
And
But he
yeah.
was in The Sting as well with Newman and Redford. He was a good actor.
I just want to
you
say
know,
it's the different
He
time
just had a drinking problem.
because drinking problems now it's not going to be
It's not
something-
tolerated.
It's not going to be tolerated. If I have to waste a day or two because you're fucked up and you keep fucking up,
Well-
I'm going to cut you. No, that happens because
It does.
Because
it does,
we look
but
at
I'm not-
people like Lindsay Lohan who come on set and she
Late
starts
as
shit
fuck.
late as fucked, intoxicated. They don't want to deal with her.
You're talking
She's
about
blackballed.
Georgia Rule, right?
Yeah, she's blackballed where she's not making movies like
Very, very true.
She's making like Lifetime movies or very B-rated movies or something that she's not mean girling it up or fucking Freaky Friday anymore. It doesn't matter
Yeah,
because
unfortunately.
I
And she
mean,
was good. She was a good actress.
Why would you fuck up a time being on Georgia Rules with one of the oldest and greatest fucking actors who
Dude,
still works today?
seriously.
Jane
Jane
Fonda
Fonda.
is like the shit. Like, why
Killing
would
it.
you fuck it up? I would like literally be like, "Will you be my mentor? Will
Uh-huh.
you tell me who your plastic
You have-
surgeon is?" Like that would be me. I'd be like, "Hi, we
Hey,
can be friends."
seriously.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful woman to this
Hi,
day.
I want you to be my mentor, not like I'm gonna come up sauce to the fucking set
Mm-hmm.
and late and not do my lines and piss off Jane Fonda. I don't need that. She's a legacy.
I've tried to get on Grace and Frankie. I can't get an audition. I think we talked about this.
I
But
want to get on there as like Grace and Frankie's assistant for their vibrating fucking company. They need a saucy black chick. That's what we're missing. That's what we're missing. I'm just throwing that out there. Hopefully somebody from the show watches or listens. Please.
Well, I will say that like nowadays don't get me wrong, there are actors who are, unfortunately alcoholics. I'm not going to name any names, but there are situations where they, have a break and they slip off and they have a drink. However, the ones
There's a
who
difference
don't
between
manage
a
it, who
drink
don't,
and getting drunk.
well, I mean,
Like-
they have to have it though.
Like I like to drink.
It's a sickness for
And
sure.
especially if I was doing a scene like the scene where they're drunk and they're talking about scars and stuff.
We got family members that are, suffering
Yes.
from this, and they just,
They don't care.
Well, I wouldn't say they don't care. It's just like you said, it's a sickness.
a
We've
sickness.
tried a lot of things to help, and it's a hard thing to
Yeah.
kick, and we got to be careful to not let certain people fall into that lifestyle as well.
But what I'm saying is, like, I understand having a drink, one drink, or one shot, like, for a scene that you're supposed to be drunk to help you loosen up and get
Yeah.
that, like,
I mean, we're drinking right now, but we're supposed to be.
that lazy eye feel, that like wobble. I can understand that, but like every take, you're downing your fucking drink. That's obsessive.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
really bad.
We're drinking on this podcast.
But that's the title of the show.
That is the title of the
I
show.
put
That's
it
what we're
in
supposed to
there
be doing. I will.
so I could
I
drink.
have never and will never have a sip when I'm on set. I don't care if we're wrapped and it's the biggest movie that I've ever acted and directed in.
Oh no, if we're wrapped, you better pop them bottles. We wrapped, we had a fucking Corona.
Yeah, but like, I didn't drink it.
I think I drank it. You're
Yeah.
right. Damn.
We had to drive.
God damn.
It's just it's not the best thing to do.
I understand.
Especially I'm directing most of the time.
It's hard for me to pass up alcohol. I'm sorry. I'm not an alcoholic, but I am an alcohol enthusiast.
I like to party.
I like to party. I'm a mixologist. That's what I'm trying to call myself.
There you go. Well, Roy Scheider
Yes.
plays Sheriff Doyle.
Sheriff.
Dude is... I like him. I want to stand up for him. But at the same time... Or sorry, Sheriff... Why did I say Sheriff Doyle? Sheriff Brody.
Okay, I was like, have I been calling them the wrong thing this whole time?
No, I've just had a few drinks.
Okay. Yes, he talks about how Roy was in his alcoholism.
Mm-hmm.
And he said when he was sober, he was a perfect gentleman. And if he had one drink, he was the biggest competitive son of a bitch you've ever met.
Robert Shaw or Roy Scheider?
Robert Shaw.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Robert Shaw.
Didn't seem like an alcoholic.
Yeah, Robert Shaw is an alcoholic. And this is Roy talking about
Gotcha.
Robert as an alcoholic, saying like when we were on set, I first met this bitch. He was sober. He was a gentleman. He was super cool.
He was
Then
great.
I worked with this motherfucker, and he's drunk
Jekyll and Hyde.
99% of the time. Like
Jekyll and Hyde.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So Roy Scheider, among the top cast, he is the last to pass away of those that have passed away. He
I was
passed
about to
away in
say-
2008.
I was like,
no,
Dreyfus died.
Dreyfus did not.
Where have I been?
Dreyfus did not.
Oh, I almost cried.
Don't scare me.
You scared me. What
Of-
about Bob, yo?
Of those who have passed.
Okay.
So he passed away in 2008. So he lived
too
a
long ago.
long time. So he lived,
I guess like
semi-long,
11 years
76
ago.
years.
No,
76 years old when he passed.
but it was 11 years ago.
Which it was 11 years ago. So he also was one of those journeyman actors that did a hell of a lot of things.
He said it, drink.
Early on, or not early on, but before he did Jaws, he did The French Connection with what? Why give me
Finish your sentence.
with my dude? You made me forget his name.
I looked at you.
I know, threw me off. What is his name? He came up with freaking. Damn it! I'm drunk. I can't.
Cutting
think.
it all out.
I can't think.
What did you,
I can't remember his name.
One,
I'm
I
sorry.
thought you said Chinese connection, then I
No, I
realized
said
you said
French.
French connection.
French
And I had
Connection.
never heard of that, so I was letting you
He
finish.
played Buddy Russo in The French Connection.
I thought you were saying Chinese connection, like Bruce, like he got to be with Bruce Lee or some shit. Finish.
No,
that's
a-
what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a Bruce Lee movie.
That's what I'm saying. It threw me off because I thought that's what I heard.
He played Joe Gideon and all that jazz. He did the narrator for Family Guy from 2007 to 2009. You know, my man's been doing his thing.
Narrator for
He was-
Family Guy.
He was the narrator for Family Guy.
Who is?
Roy Scheider, the sheriff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I love Family Guy. They do a Richard Dreyfuss episode
Richard Dreyfuss.
where like Peter sees him at like the kid's recital because he's there for like his daughter or granddaughter or something like that.
Okay.
And he like sends it to TMZ where he's like, "Hey, how you doing? How you doing?" He like follows him with a camera and shit like that, like follows him into the bathroom and stuff. So that's pretty cool connection.
Mm-hmm.
I feels like they use his voice because it does sound a lot like him. What?
Gene Hackman is the man who I couldn't remember. I've been drinking. Leave me alone.
I've been drinking. I've been drinking. All right.
Remember that shit? So, Roy Scheider, dude, I like him.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. He's a good sheriff. He wants to do the right thing. He's just, don't let other people influence your decisions. You know better than these freaking townies.
I feel like if he was in a big city,
Uh-huh.
he would feel more comfortable making those decisions.
Yeah, that's
but
his,
because
you know,
he's-
he knows that area better. He's out of his element.
And because if you live in a big city, obviously there's nothing but crime and shit that happens in a big city. So, you know, people who live in big cities are more obsessed, like, able to accept the fact that, like, okay, well, we can't do this and we can't do this until the cops fix this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, if you think back in the 70s where there's, like, the Night Stalker who was prowling Southern California and killing people in their sleep in their house, people were scared. But they knew that, like, well, I can't do this, I can't do that because there's a Night Stalker out here and we haven't caught the motherfucker yet. But because they're in, like, a small little town, these people don't care. This is our town. Nothing bad happens here. I know everyone on this island. You know?
I just,
I know. He tries. He's a really
He
good
tries.
sheriff, though. He is.
It's just, by the end, I want to watch part 2 and part 3, or Jaws' Revenge as it's called, and I want to see how his character develops, if he stands his ground like he's supposed to in
I
the
don't
next
remember
ones.
him in 3, but I'm pretty sure
He's
in
in
2.
2, so I want to
Yeah,
at least see
he's
that
in
one
2.
and see if he finally learns his lessons and says, no, fuck you, we're closing the beach.
I feel like he's like a Jack Bauer. That every season he has to deal with somebody who doesn't realize what the fuck he's
Somebody
already
who's
been
tying
through.
his hands behind his back sort of thing.
And then they have to realize, like, oh, this is the person we need. I call it the Jack Bauer effect.
Okay.
And
There's
that's
always something that's stopping you from doing the right thing.
And it's like another year where we're like, we already know this fool can handle this. You guys are slowing him down.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I don't know. I'll have to watch it again.
Okay.
But can I give you another fun fact about him?
Sure.
Tell me, what is the most famous line from this movie?
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
That was ad-lib by him.
Nice.
Nowhere in the script. So you can thank him for the biggest, most famous line from this movie.
Awesome. I love ad libs.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, stick to the script. But when they come and they work and it's in the moment, fuck, they're good.
Some people are really good. We talked about this last week with Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
Being very good at improving with his dad and Will Smith, making their scenes
day
seem
long.
like they're more real.
Yeah.
So I totally understand that. That's all I got on him.
Okay, good. Because it's time to talk about Richard Dreyfuss.
Okay, can you tell me why you say it like that?
Have you not seen Elle from the Jimmy Fallon show?
No, I guess not.
Okay. The reason why we've been doing that, there's a sketch that Jimmy Fallon does on his show, and he had Ariana Grande's ass on as a guest, and he does this sketch called Elle. And so he plays this like teenage girl. He plays a teenage girl. Jimmy Fallon dressed as a teenage girl with braces and shit.
Okay,
and her
I feel
show,
like I
it's
might
like a
have seen
YouTube
that.
show called Elle.
L. And she says Richard
And
Dreyfuss.
like he has like flashcards that she's showing to Ariana Grande, and it's like Shamrock cappuccinos. Do you like them, or ill, or this, that, and the
They're
other?
gross. Have you had a
And so
Shamrock?
one of them is Richard Dreyfuss. He has a picture of Richard Dreyfuss. He pulls the flashcard, and he's like, Richard Dreyfuss, and she's like, he's cute. And it's like a long ass pause, and he's like, did you just say he's cute?
It's cute.
And she's like trying to improv. She's like, he's like a really good actor. So they're supposed to be like these like basic bitches.
Teenagers. Yeah, okay. Basic bitches.
But the show is called Ill.
L.
They just ill. I don't like anything.
Okay.
I'm a millennial.
L.
Ill, exactly.
I like shit. I'm a millennial.
Yeah, you up on the ranks
I
millennial.
know. I'm a cool one.
I'm more of a Gen X cusper. I don't.
I guess.
Meaning, when you have siblings that were majority born as Generation X, and you were raised with them, watching their TV shows, listening to their music, you're a cusper because you associate with that generation more than your own. You didn't have
I'm a
access to the
cusper.
TV. You didn't have access to listening to the music of your time.
That's not true. I did.
I mean, to a degree.
I feel like a
But
nice
you're
cusper.
influenced by pop
because
culture of the previous generation.
I was wrapped up in that shit.
Yeah, 'cause
but
you're,
then when I was
like-
young, I'm a millennial. Like
They're like
I am
6 or 8 years older than you, right?
Wait, you?
No, your siblings.
7 and 10 years older than me. So yeah,
you're
it
a
makes sense.
cusper.
Because I did pick up on their early 90s and shit,
Mm-hmm.
but then I was also young, so like anything that was on MTV, TRL, Backstreet Boys, Spice
Mm-hmm.
Girls, I was all up into that as well. So I get that. I feel like a cusper that leans towards the millennial, but yeah,
For sure.
all right.
So, let's talk about Mr. Richard Dreyfuss, who I absolutely love.
He almost didn't get cast in this movie. You
gotta be shitting me.
Not that he didn't get cast. They asked him. He said no. And his only credible credit at that time was American Graffiti, which I love and we will do.
Yeah.
Because it has so many bangers in it.
You have
And
just made my mom very happy.
Mom, American Graffiti. I have the soundtrack on vinyl. I love it. That's a good one. It has a lot of people that now we look at it as legends.
Yeah, exactly.
In this movie.
Exactly. One of my favorite directors as well, Mr. Ron Howard.
Who didn't direct it but starred
Didn't direct
in it.
it, but starred in it.
Harrison Ford's in that shit.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. But that was his only credit prior to this, like his big credit prior to this.
For sure.
So when they asked him to do the film, he's like, nah, I don't want to do that shit.
What?
And so they were still looking for people. They had moved over to East Coast looking for extras and who they wanted to play him and Brody, I believe.
Oh, they were still looking for Brody
I
at the
believe
time?
they were still looking for Brody. I might be wrong. It might be Quint.
Yeah.
It might be him, but it was one of those two that they had still not found as well. So the co-writer that I told you who had co-wrote this, and he talks about this on the podcast I was speaking of, that when he said, like, I think that we should have him as, in this movie, they're like, we asked him, he said no, and he's like, did you tell him I was on the film? Because we're like homies.
Wait, are you talking about Peter Benchley or are you talking about Carl?
Which was the co-writer? Right.
Both of them. Both of them wrote the screenplay. So this was written by Peter Benchley as well as Carl Gottlieb or something like that.
I think it's Carl.
Is it Carl?
I think so.
Hey, Carl.
Hold on.
Good to see you.
What is that from?
Happy Gilmore. Oh, no. Billy Madison, sorry.
Carl. I just think of Walking Dead. Okay, let's see.
You gonna check your notes?
I am going to check. I was going like full no phone today. I was trying to see if I could do it, but I can't.
Well, while you check your notes, I will say that I absolutely love him in this. I feel like this movie wouldn't have been as good if they had cast somebody else, especially because of his relationship with Quint and his ability to work off of Quint, even though Quint is drunk off his ass. Because being that Quint is drunk, Richard Dreyfuss saves him in a number of scenes. He works off of him in a way where he doesn't, another actor would be like, this guy's drunk, I can't work with him, I'm walking off set. But Richard Dreyfuss uses his drunkenness and responds as the character. When he's like making the faces, he's like, doing all that shit.
That is one of my favorite.
Behind
I
his
almost
back.
had that where he's like,
He's like, yeah, exactly.
Fuck yeah, Captain Dick.
Because he
Like,
wants to save the scene.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that if the character wasn't a drunk, I would have a problem with that. Like, if he was supposed to be the president of the United States, and he's like this shitty mess,
Yeah.
then I'd be like, I can't fucking do this. He's supposed to be the president.
Sure.
And the president is a certain way. So, I can't work with him. But because his character is a fucking pirate,
Yeah.
pretty much.
I mean, he's a sailor.
He's a sailor.
He's a drunk sailor.
He's a fucking pirate.
He's a fucking pirate.
He is missing a wooden leg and a fucking patch and a bird, but he's a pirate. He sings pirate songs, dude.
He does.
He sings pirate
He's
songs.
a sailor through and through. He was in
makes
World
his-
War II.
He makes his own booze.
He makes his own booze.
that tastes like shit,
Do
apparently.
not drink that.
Do not drink that.
And he drinks it anyway. He's like, he
be honest
tastes it
with-
and then he drinks it.
To be honest with you, I would taste it too. I
Yeah,
mean, he made
I would
it.
taste it, but like
He made it.
Sheriff spits it out. It's like, don't drink that.
Don't
Ugh. Meanwhile, this fool's boiling shark teeth and shit. Or shark bones.
That was kind of weird.
That's crazy. He's got shark bones all over the place.
Carl, yes. Okay. So Carl.
It was Carl.
Carl's the one that I was talking about in the podcast.
Sure.
He was the one that was on set writing.
Gotcha.
He even spent time, him and Spielberg got a suite together, and they were sitting there having breakfast, lunch, and dinner together, working on the set together to write the script.
Rewrite.
They have Carl as an extra, as a reporter.
Okay.
And he said that, like, I wrote this because I saw how their tension was, and I was like, well, this is perfect.
Yeah, you got to work off of it. You
We
got
have to work off of this.
You got to utilize it.
Yeah, because you do feel the tension. You're like, why do you
They
hate him
fucking
so
hate each
much?
other.
Why do you hate him so much?
I mean, I'm sure Richard Dreyfuss hates him because he's being unprofessional.
I also hear that he's not the nicest person in the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in
I
real
don't know.
life.
I think he's a
don't
great
know.
fucking actor,
think
but
you're
I
a
don't
great
know about
actor.
him personally.
I'm scared to meet you in person, but
He's like
we'll
my
see.
height. He's not intimidating.
No.
However, he is.
So is Joe Pesci, and I wouldn't meet that fool anywhere.
I would love to meet Joe Pesci.
I would love to meet him too, but I would be scared if he got mad at me. I'd like run. He
Yeah.
might stab me in the eye with a fucking pin. Who knows?
That's true. Yeah. Take his gun out and beat the shit out of you.
I'm
I didn't mean
scared
to
of
get
him.
blood all over your floor.
I didn't mean to get blood on your floor. Shit.
Put your head in a vice.
You made me fucking pop your eye out for Frank.
Charlie M, are
Charlie
you fucking
M?
kidding me?
Fucking Charlie M.
Do this motherfucker a favor.
Put him out of his misery.
Dude.
Casino.
Straight up Jersey gangster right there.
Casino's one of my favorites. We definitely have to do that. I feel like that's a summer movie.
Is that, I don't know.
I don't know if they're in the desert. It's always summer in the desert.
It's always summer in the desert. No, that one follows like years of stuff. So Richard Dreyfuss has an Oscar.
For?
I thought it was Mr. Holland's Opus because I fucking love that movie.
What is it for?
It's for The Goodbye Girl. 1977, Best Actor in a Leading Role. But that being said, he did Mr. Holland's Opus in 95, and I think I saw it in 95 when I was a kid. And even as a kid, I was like, this is a great movie.
That's how I feel about Casino.
Yeah. It had
As a kid,
nothing,
I thought it was a
I
great
couldn't
movie.
associate with it at all because I was like 10,
Yeah.
11, somewhere around there. But I was like riveted with that freaking movie.
I feel you.
You
When
know?
you're a kid, sometimes it doesn't make sense to the movies that you're drawn to.
Yeah.
And that, like, you know, even though these movies were not made for children for us to be so obsessed with. But like I said, Casino was one of those movies, like,
Mm-hmm.
literally after I watched it, I was like,
You get exposed to
This is the
certain movies,
shit.
dude.
Yeah.
Like,
I love it.
my grandma showed me Shawshank. And she
parents-
made me sit down and watch it.
I feel like we probably went to the movie theaters to go see that. Because we would go see anything with probably Morgan Freeman in it back in the day.
Gotcha.
So I feel like we probably went to the movies to go see that. And it was one of those that it was good.
Yeah.
So good that it sticks with you for your whole life.
Okay.
And he does movies like that, like Close Encounters of the
Yeah,
Third
he was
Kind.
in Close Encounters after this as well.
He does I like him better in that movie than in this movie because I feel like he's more of a star in that movie than he is in this movie.
Okay.
But he's so good.
He really is.
He
He's
almost
a
didn't get this
great,
role.
great actor.
Once they realized that Carl was friends with him, Carl called his wife and was like, well, where the fuck is Richard at, yo? And she worked in the industry as well, called him back and was like, oh, he's in New York meeting for promoting some movie he was doing.
Okay.
And so he met up with him and he was like, you need to do this Jaws movie, bitch. Do this with me. And
Yeah.
he was like, oh, you're doing it? Oh, yeah, bitch, I'm on it. And
Okay.
so, like, you know, that's how we got him.
There you go. Have you seen him lately?
No.
Okay. The last thing I saw him in was that comedy that he did where Chevy Chase plays his agent. Yeah. It's called The Last Laugh. I want to say it's on Netflix. So he was a stand-up comedian, and then he retired very, very young, and like went off and like, you know, retired and, you know, had a business.
So he's
and this,
like
that,
in
and
his
the other.
30s and he's like, I'm
No,
out.
no, no, no. Yeah, exactly. And then, you know, now he's like in his 80s, and Chevy Chase is looking for him
Why?
because he wants to take him on the road. He wants him to
Is
go
he
on
still
tour,
funny?
and he's still funny.
I'm gonna have to
Like-
what's it called?
The Last Laugh. Chevy Chase goes to a retirement home. I can't remember if he's looking for him or if he's just like looking to retire.
This might sound familiar.
But-
You're right.
He finds him, but he doesn't know it's him. Like Richard Dreyfuss is like in a disguise and he's fucking with Chevy Chase in this retirement home. And then
Last
eventually
Laugh.
like he comes clean and stuff.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix, yeah.
It's on my queue. This looks cute.
Yeah.
Oh, they're old ass
They're
motherfuckers.
old asses. Making old jokes.
This came out this year.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
What's your favorite line from this movie of Richard Dreyfuss? She broke my heart.
See that
She
scar?
broke my heart.
I do like where he's like, I haven't had it been tested on nautical knots in forever or whatever. He was like, tie this knot. And he
Oh,
does that, and
yeah,
he's like
yeah,
all
yeah.
pissed off. Or the line where you said, once I leave, you're the only sane person left on this island.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He comes on screen and immediately you love him.
Well, they wanted to hire him because he reflects the underdog. And that's what his character is supposed to be.
Okay.
Is the scientist, the one who knows but not necessarily has the experience,
Sure. And nobody listens to.
and no one listens to.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And he did it. And this movie put his ass on the map.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Absolutely
even
did.
more than American Graffiti, which also had huge numbers. I mean, not Jaws numbers, but
Sure.
huge teen
Still.
numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, it's a movie that still gets shown today. I've watched it a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Blockbuster.
yeah. This is the very first blockbuster of all time. Jaws is.
Mm-hmm.
They said that it at first was considered a popcorn movie. Have you ever heard of that term?
Sure.
So this was more of a popcorn movie, and then they saw it as a
Thriller.
no, as like a popular movie,
Ah.
as meaning that you got the teens on board.
Okay.
And then after 3 months of it being in number one in the box office, they saw it as, oh shit, this thing has legs and
Yeah.
it's running.
Yeah.
And to the point where, oh shit, there's something special about this movie. It was nominated for Oscars, not Best Director and no Best Actors, but
No.
it did get it for Best Score, I believe. And
John Williams.
Ted?
Killing it since day one.
I can't remember what else the Oscars were for this, but it didn't win what you would think it would win.
No, of course. I'm out.
You out, girl?
I'm out.
All right.
It won 3 Oscars, by the way.
What other did you just say?
I will tell you right now, it won for Best Sound,
Yeah.
Best Film Editing, Best Music.
Okay.
It was nominated for Best,
Best
Picture.
picture, but didn't win. It lost to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
I mean,
And when I heard that, I was like, well, that is a
It's-
really good movie. I was like, all right, well, you losing to that doesn't make me that mad because that's a really good movie. So,
Fuck yeah.
Okay. And another really good book. So, let me give you a fun fact here. You guys, Shark Week this year, July 22nd. That's the beginning of Shark Week. And
Is it?
Shark Week has been around since July of 1988. That's how long
Shit.
Shark Week has been going around. And I have spent many of my summers watching tons of documentaries about the ocean and sharks. And every year we learn something new. And there are a species that we don't know a lot about.
we
even
don't know
though-
shit about the ocean.
Even though we spent a whole week learning about sharks,
Mm-hmm.
we don't know a lot about them. So
Until we can shine a light on the entire ocean, we don't know shit.
we don't know jack.
There's Loch Ness is down there somewhere. Nessie.
Nessie? Okay, so you're done.
I'm done.
I have
I'm ready to go.
I have one more fun fact that I have been waiting to share with you guys. Okay,
Okay.
Have you ever-
Savoring over this fun fact.
have you ever heard of the Lady in the Dunes?
Fuck no. What is that?
I knew you wouldn't. So she was found, her body was found in July 26, 1974, which is the summer that the Jaws was being filmed in Provincetown, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Okay, and she was laying on a beach blanket with a blue bandana and a pair of Wrangler jeans folded and tucked underneath her head. She was pretty much beaten badly and almost decapitated. That is what happened to this poor young lady. So, she had long auburn hair, and no one really knows who she is. Like, no one till this day doesn't know who she is. But many years later, in 2015, John Hill, do you know who he is?
No.
He is the son of Stephen King.
Okay.
And he took his son, so John took his son to the movies for Jaws' 25th anniversary because he loved this movie as a child.
Yeah.
And they watched the movie together. Before he watched this movie, he had just finished a book about unsolved mysteries and murders all over the country. And while he was watching this movie, he saw a young lady that fit this exact description of the Lady in the Dunes.
I do remember this
So-
story. I
so-
don't remember where, but I remember this story.
So if you have the movie, stop your movie at 54 minutes and 4 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And you could do 5 seconds, but after 5 seconds, she's no longer on screen. In the movie, on the left side of the screen, you will see a young lady in a white shirt, some Wrangler jeans, and a blue bandana and auburn hair.
Mm-hmm.
So they have done a reconstruction of this woman's face to try to figure out kind of who she is. So Stephen King's son, John, went on his blog or Reddit, I think it was, and was like, you guys, I think I might know who the Lady in the Dunes is. Because this is filmed the same exact summer as Jaws. It is less than 100 miles away from where this was. Everybody in that region was coming to the beaches to be extras, to see stars at this time in the summer.
Yeah.
So it is not out of the ordinary or to think
Not even a little
far-fetched
bit.
to think that somebody would come and be an extra from New York and come all the way out here to be an extra in this movie or to run into some stars. And I showed you the small clip earlier today. I was like, Jason, look at this picture. I'm going to talk about this later, of the lady who they might think it's the Lady in the Dunes. And John has gone to the detectives of this small town, have talked to FBI agents about this, and looks like we got some traction on finding who this woman is and who
the fucking killer
who
is.
the fuck killed this beautiful young lady who we have no clue about. So you know how big of a murderino I am. So when we said we were going to do this movie, I had already heard about this and was like, I'm about to deep dive into this. So that's kind of what I got on the Lady of the Dunes. Please look at 54 minutes and 2 seconds in. If that's your mama, if that's your grandmama, if that's your auntie, and you know that she's not the Lady in the Dunes, please let people know, because there's a lot of people out there who think that this might be who we're looking for. And I thought that was a really cool tie-in to the movie.
I like that a lot. I
So,
mean, I
yeah.
don't like
I
that,
mean, I
but
don't like it a lot because there's some fucking asshole out there who killed an innocent woman for no reason, and I'm not about that shit. So, but I thought that was a really cool thing to add, and I wanted to add it at the end so you guys remember that. How cool, man.
Get it.
Lady in the Dune. Look her up. And look up her picture and look up the movie, and you'll see the side-by-sides, and she kind of looks like her. It could be her. I don't know. John thinks that he is also a comic book writer and a suspense writer, similar to his father. And so he's like, sometimes, my brain just makes up ghost stories. So it could be a ghost story. It could not be a ghost story. We will see.
Exactly. We will see.
I would love to solve this. I mean, she's buried with no name as the Lady in the Dune. So, that's all I got.
Well, thank you for that horrifying
I'm sorry.
story.
You know how I feel about my fucking murderinos. Murderinos out there know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are we done?
Do you know what time it is?
I know it's time to go because Robin is scared shitless.
All right, I know. I hear him popping, Rob. We're about to leave. All right, so it's time for Z for the people. So, we are talking about the Shark Trust, and it was established in 1997, and it is a member of the Shark Allies, and helps prevent poachers out there from killing sharks, because sharks are a delicacy, especially, I believe it's their fin, or is that dolphins?
I'm not sure.
Either way, they are a delicacy where in different countries that people attack sharks, and they use a small portion of them. It is their fin, right?
They just cut off the fin
they
and
just
throw
come
away the
off
rest.
the fin and they throw off the rest. And sharks are not able to swim without their fins. That's like swimming without your eyes. You can't do it.
Yeah.
You're gonna drown.
Motherfuckers.
So I found this because after finding out the shark on the set was a real shark that they hung up, I was like, we need to save some sharks, because, like I said previously, sharks are not meant to attack humans. They might accidentally attack us, but when they do, they don't devour us. So they just might hit a valve that might kill us, but they're not going to devour us. They're just animals. We're in their home. That's how you have to think of it.
So I don't go in the water.
If you go to the sharktrust.org, you can donate some money, donate your time, find out about sharks and what we can do to help them, because they are some of the oldest creatures on this planet.
Straight up Jurassic years, y'all.
They are. They're like dinosaurs.
Modern day dinosaurs.
I mean, like he says in the movie, people don't even know how old dinosaurs are. Some dinosaurs live 30, 40 years. Some might live 100 years. We don't fucking know, because there's so many things about them we don't know. So watch Shark Week this week, you guys. Save some sharks. Don't eat shark soup. That's all I got for Z for the people.
Cool. Let's get this scene and get out of here.
All right. First, please email us at Lights Camera Cocktails. Cocktail, no S.
Leave that fucking ass out.
Leave that fucking S out. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, you name it, we on there. Please send us any close encounters, any drinks. We're on Spotify, Podbox, Podbean, Castbox, you name it, we on that shit. So tell somebody that we on there so we can get more listeners, because we take a lot of time out of our lives during the week to do the show, and we appreciate
we're supposed
you
to be
guys.
somewhere right now, people.
Yes, so that's why we're kind of rushing. So, yeah, let's do what you pick next week.
Yeah, we got a comedy for next week, people.
Oh, also, please go on our Instagram. We have a poll up right now about what
we want to
movies
know
we should
what
do this
movies
summer.
you guys want us to talk about this summer.
So please vote so we know what you want us to do.
It's summer vacation movies this month, people.
And there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of options.
Dang, they shooting. Let's finish this
They
shit.
shooting. Damn, it is
It's not even dark outside, you
fireworks
guys.
time.
Okay,
Here we go. You ready? As you're gonna be.
as I'm gonna be.
Remember your eye line. I hope that car never gets fixed.
I don't think it will. I took the spark plugs out of it.
Nice. All right. We're all looking at the same time. Let's at least, take shifts. Lemon Soft, we're going to look at the tree for a little bit.
Okay, Ms. Mackenzie, we're gonna look over at the butt for a little while, okay?
Okay.
All right, good plan.
And shift. 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 And shift.
What are we doing here?
Are we all looking at the tree?
Yeah, let's go back to the ass. That ass.
That ass.
All right. Fuck, we did it.
Good job.
We made it. Have fun on the beach this month.
Yes, absolutely. All right, guys, that is our show. We appreciate you.
Yes.
We're sorry to rush through this,
Love you guys.
but it's getting very loud and we're ruining all audio right now with these fireworks. Thank you so much. We will see you guys right here next week on Lights, Camera, Cocktails. Come on, Robin, let's get the hell out of here and avoid these fireworks.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.